you've got yourself something funky.
Hey, welcome to the 42. We're going to talk about our top 5.
Oh my god, he made popcorn.
Got your popcorn. We're going to talk about our top 5 games that we haven't yet pulled off our shelf of opportunity, right?
Correct.
But we're also going to play games afterwards. We got Andrew Wolf that's going to join us in a few minutes here. So it's going to be a little bit long episode, but you know, that's typical of us, right?
Yeah.
Playing games. What else are we doing? Talk Boba Fett at the end of the episode, so in case somebody's not caught up, they don't have to hear spoilers. We'll warn people. Why are you eating popcorn?
For those that follow along in the Discord, maybe I don't know.
We had a very active Discord. I forgot to put the link on the description today. I'll update it afterwards.
Yeah.
Are you? Oh, thanks.
Yep.
In fact, we should also, if you can, at some point, put it in the comments, the link to our Discord. But yeah, we had a lot of fun, interesting stuff in Discord. I had to kick and scream because someone said that they hated certain parts of Star Wars. What?
Someone also said that Jar Jar was the best part of Star Wars. So
Yeah.
I don't think that's what I said.
Yeah, you said he was your hero.
I said Jar Jar was my hero. Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, that went a little far.
yeah.
But I was just trying to illustrate that I don't hate him as much as everybody else.
And you're wrong for that, but that's okay.
Yeah. So this first part of the show is about the top 5 games and all, but we're gonna wait till Andrew pops in, right? And before that, I started looking through all of my games that. Oh, I'm out of focus, aren't I? I started looking through all my games that they're on that shelf, and of course, once you start revisiting that shelf, you're like, "Oh, I forgot about this. I forgot about that," and things start resorting. But I did keep. I'm trying to look. I just got 2 things in last week, and those are on there. So it's kind of Cult of the Newish. Like, I definitely want to dig into that. I'm kind of curious though. Did either one of you do expansions?
Sort of.
Sort of. Okay.
Yep.
I have an expansion on here, but I didn't know if I was gonna.
It's a standalone expansion, so that's why I say sort of.
What's a standalone expansion?
So you don't need the base to play it. You don't need the base game to play it.
And that's just another game, isn't it?
No, it's really kind of more of the first one, but different.
If you can play it by itself.
You'll see. Would you just wait until I mention it?
Yeah, Peter.
Hey, Peter. Go get your popcorn.
Hi, Peter.
I don't even like popcorn that much, but I kind of want it every time I see it.
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
You don't like popcorn? You're sitting here shoving it in your mouth?
What is wrong with you both?
I have an addiction. I don't stop. It's constant with popcorn with me. It's very bad.
I mean, that's the bad thing about popcorn. I'll be like, no, I don't want any. And if somebody sits down next to me, I'm sitting there digging into their popcorn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, because it's so yummy.
Yep.
Sounds like the game we got. People are already trying to guess what your non-expansion game is.
If they have been watching the show
Alan.
at all, they can figure it out.
Hey, Alan.
Hey, Alan and Edward and Corey.
Everyone.
My goodness. So many
So
people.
Corey, this word, interesting enough.
Expandalones. I like that.
The first time I heard expandalone was when I was with Funko, and Funkoverse was coming out. Because Funkoverse can be played, like, for instance, well, that's a bad example. The single characters can't, but the dual characters, like the Golden Girls, came in 2 packs, and they can play by themselves, but you can also add them to the 4 packs. So like the Marvel one that comes with 4, you can add more characters in. So expandalones, they play by themselves, but they can be brought into the main game. And
hey, Andrew's with us. Andrew Wolf.
Hi.
Hey, so we were just talking about, well, I guess, what do they call it? Expandalones? Well, we'll get into it, right? Because it's part of Katia's list here. Did you happen to get a chance to figure out maybe 5-ish games? Awesome. I
Well,
say ish because I know both my co-hosts have cheated a little bit and added more than 5, right?
Which
I
one?
said
They
I
can have
would.
a couple of mine because I was looking at my shelf and I was like, okay, I want to legitimately pick things that are on my shelf that I want to play. And I was like, I don't know if I have 5.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Good for you.
I haven't acquired a lot of games over the last 2 years because I don't do a lot of Kickstarter stuff. And partially, I think because of COVID and knowing the situation around gathering to play games, I was like, I'm going to buy this stuff and then it's just going to sit here. Like, I'm going to build a shelf of opportunity, or I'll just wait until there is the opportunity and then get stuff instead of just having it, I don't know, creating this sense of waiting.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. One of the reasons why my shelf gets made is because I buy from one of the sites that gives you free shipping if you do a certain amount. So there's one game that I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get this game. And then there's a bunch on my wish list. I go, okay, let's throw these on. And those are the ones that end up going on that shelf. And, and I need to stop that practice, I suppose. Probably a good idea.
It's difficult, and especially when the email comes in from the one store and it's like, restock. I have to stop opening those.
Yeah, that free shipping is crap.
I have to block that email somehow.
That free shipping threshold is so funny because you could buy a $40 game and it would cost you $7 to ship. But man, you're gonna throw on $60 more to get free shipping. It's like,
you know what it reminds me of? It's the Rick and Morty meme about deviled eggs. There's like, hey, you want to eat half a dozen hard-boiled eggs? No. How about if I chop them in half and mix them up with some like mustard and relish? You're like, you son of a bitch, I'm in.
yeah.
Yep.
I would
Totally.
easily eat half a dozen deviled eggs. But if you just said, here's a plate of 6 hard-boiled eggs, no way I'm eating that.
Yep.
Fill up on that on Thanksgiving.
I'd be hard pressed to stop at a half a dozen.
Yeah.
me too.
You put a little sriracha in the bottom before you put the mix in. Oh man.
Huh. Haven't tried that.
Interesting. Oh
No,
my
that's
gosh.
Right? Are you thinking, do you like deviled eggs?
Now I want deviled eggs.
I love them.
Right. But if somebody handed you half a dozen hard-boiled eggs, you're like, I'm not eating 6 of those. No way.
Yeah, I am.
6.
Maybe not 6.
Half a dozen just straight hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah.
Oh no. No, the sliced one, like the yeah.
That's funny.
Anyway,
Yeah, very good.
Well, now I'm going to think about that every time I buy a board game that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, hey, you want to buy a $25 board game? $10 for shipping. No way. You want to buy $75 worth of board game, free shipping? Yes, I want that.
Yep.
I'm saving so much money. And they're like, yeah, of course you are.
Yeah. I was like 20% off. If you spend $100, you get 20% off. But I only need one T-shirt.
Yeah. But when you know the discount's there and you're not getting it, you feel like you're being robbed of that discount.
Yes. It feels like wasted money.
Yes.
If I paid for shipping, it was wasted money.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Brett, you should bring that tomorrow. I'd like to play that tomorrow.
Have you not played it yet? It's good. Yeah. Well, it's good, but I had a bad moment in it.
Oh, here we go.
No, you explained it on the show before.
Yeah. I talked about it once.
See, I feel like I'm the only one who actually listens and pays attention here.
And it's appreciated. That's why you're here. Mike never listened to me.
No, I used to listen to people, and then I met Chris, and now I don't listen to anybody.
That's fair. Yeah,
I just have an alarm on my phone that I'm supposed to be here at 9 o'clock, and then I just show up like 28 seconds before we go. So
yes, it was almost 28 seconds.
I was here early. I just left to go get a drink and pop popcorn.
So do we want to dive in? Let's dive in.
Yeah.
I'm going to share screen so I can pull up games. That's not the right screen. So I can pull up games as we talk about them. I guess that's the way to do it, right?
Might as well.
So we're going to go to our faithful board game geek.
I
Do
wonder
me a
if we're
favor,
gonna
Mike.
have if we're gonna have any overlap.
Looks like we need to get rid of somebody in the
Maybe.
comments. There you go.
Yeah.
You're already on it.
Yep.
Nice. Sharing. That's what I was doing. Oh, I just had one of those ear-ringing moments. Have it happened to you?
Yep.
All
Share
the time.
screen. Here we go. All right. Do we want to be here or do we want to be down here?
No, on the side.
Like being on side? All right, let's be on the
Yeah.
side.
Can we talk for a second because it's right there about Libertalia?
Oh yeah.
Are we?
Oh,
is
yeah.
everyone excited about that?
Very. I'm nervous. I'm cautiously optimistic that it's going to be good. If you watch the shows where I'm ranting about some of Stonemeyer's latest stuff, namely that Red game.
Red Rising. Yeah, we talked
Red
about
Rising.
Red Rising. Or maybe I talked about it on the one when you weren't here.
Maybe. So I'm nervous. I'm just nervous because of some of the stuff that's happened. And I love Libertalia so much that I just hope it's not that he would ruin it, but I just hope it's not like Endeavor. I love the original Endeavor, and then the new Endeavor is good. It didn't ruin it for me. And I'm nervous that something that you really like if they ever redid the Goonies movie, right? I don't know if it would ever live up to the original, even though modern CGI and whatever. I'm cautiously optimistic about this one.
Well, just
Well,
like
here's the
in
thing.
movies, it's not going to change the game that you currently have.
Exactly. Like, do you own Libertalia?
Sure do.
And I'm sure you'll never get rid of it, even if you get this one as well. I own it as well, and I'm like, well, if this one's not as good for some reason, I still got the other one.
You'll always
know?
have the original. Yep.
And I know that like Disney and Lucas have kind of done their best to try and erase it. But if you didn't like the special edition stuff, just watch it without all of the changes. I go back and do that sometimes. Just watch OG Star Wars, where you can see the green boxes around the TIE fighters, and the trench run only has like 3 X-wings, and it's like it's still there too. Like they try and hide it, but you can still go out there and get it. So
also, I don't think this is a remake, right? It's another game in the world, isn't it?
No, from what I read, it's a remake.
Is it? Okay. I thought
what I read is that it's got everything from the original game. I think it's been slightly rethemed. Like I'm sure that the different treasure pieces will be, more. These are like Sky Pirates or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so it probably won't have like the cursed idols will look different. And I mean, again, you could easily argue there are some things about original Libertalia that need to be updated for a little bit of a modern sensibility, because there's some kind of insensitive things about indigenous peoples and races and stuff being portrayed in particular ways. Like Libertalia, even if they didn't change anything, still needs a little bit of a facelift, like Puerto Rico or something. You don't change any of the mechanics or anything, but
Right.
it could be cleaned up a little bit. But I read that there's more cards, because I think original had like 30 and now it's 40. So there's definitely more content, but I'm going to assume that the mechanics are the same.
Cool.
it says original design with a heavily revised and expanded edition that includes completely new art by Lamaro Smith and 40 characters per player.
So I don't like the original design, because then that means it's not the original if it's an original design.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see.
Right?
We still have our original.
Sure. But are you reading that as if that this game is an original design and not going to be a copy or a clone of original Libertalia?
I don't read it that way.
I'm reading
it like it's going to have the 30 cards that probably have the same mechanics that the 30 cards that do now, and 10 new cards that might have different mechanics. But I imagine it's like you're going to have your hand of cards. Everyone's going to play one face down. You're going to flip them. You're going to resolve your day, your dusk, your evening stuff. Like again, maybe they'll change the terms, stuff like that, but it'll be like hand of cards, play some, resolve, collect things, get some new ones. Your hands, will evolve as the game goes.
As long as you don't remove them,
mechanically will be the same.
Yeah, I was reading from the newsletter, so it's I was wrong. It's not a completely new game. It's a revised, expanded edition.
As long as they keep the monkey, I'm fine. just want the monkey.
Is this a new trend? I mean, this already kind of happens anyway. It just doesn't happen cross-publisher usually. I mean, publishers have been bringing out their new version of their older games. I mean, how many Ticket to Rides do we have, right? But it's just not, it just doesn't usually happen with different publishers.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Can't think of that many examples where somebody put something out, rights to it lapsed, another publisher acquired it, made some updates, and reissued it. I mean, it does happen, but it's
Isn't that what happened with Endeavor?
yeah.
Probably. There's a few Kickstarter instances in which that happened too. Yeah.
Mhm.
Which, Endeavor was Kickstarter, wasn't it?
Yep.
The second one was, yeah.
So anyway, I didn't see these pictures.
I'm trying to think
That's
of
nice.
something else that's been.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't see any of that.
Yeah, look at these. That's fun. I have to revisit Libertalia. I mentioned this once before, but I had kind of I love the artwork. I had a weird situation in which somebody told me that you're gonna feel like a pirate playing this game, and I played it, and I was like, I didn't feel like a pirate, so I had not a bad experience, but it just wasn't what I thought it was gonna be. That kind of feel. So I need to revisit it. I guess I'll revisit it with this one. I'll buy it with free shipping with a bunch of other stuff.
Because he doesn't do Kickstarter anymore. He'll do like pre-orders. This goes up and it's available for pre-order and delivers like next month. Like this is done.
Yeah.
He has a weird strategy about like announcing something a month before you get it, going up for pre-order a couple weeks later, and then having it ship immediately, which I guess is kind of nice.
I think it makes it so that everything sells out and everybody wants it. And when the second print run comes, then they're willing to just like everybody will jump on the second print run. Like it's an infinite sort of loop of a game that holds its value. Like you look at Wingspan, you look at Scythe. The price for Scythe is the same as what it was when it came out. Like those games just hold their value, I think, because
some do
figured out how to. Okay, well, if you're thinking of Red Rising,
or even Pendulum, right? I don't think Pendulum really hit very hard. I mean, Tapestry, but Tapestry got shit on real quick. It still is on lists, but it still got.
Yeah,
Tapestry is like the
Tapestry.
Tapestry is like the Coldplay of board games. Like everybody likes it, but everybody wants to pretend like they don't.
I only played it once. I enjoyed the experience. I would play it again, but it was also particularly long. I feel like there were 6 of us playing, and it probably took 3.5, 4 hours.
Ooh.
I think it only plays up to 5.
It was the first time for a couple of people, including myself.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like it was going to play particularly quicker at a higher player count.
Oh, it's even
it only
more
plays up to 5.
Oh, maybe it was 5. We had the full complement. Whatever it was.
The expansion might add no. If you're playing full complement and all of your like actions are done, and then you got to sit there for like 3 people to just rock through ages, that's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, the downtime was kind of high.
I don't think I've ever played it at 5. I think 4 is the highest I've ever played it. So.
Anyway, I feel like I totally derailed us. We're supposed to be talking about Opportunity, not Stonemeyer.
Well, we're talking about board games, so it's the same thing.
Sure.
That is true. Maybe
I haven't seen those pictures of Libertalia anyway, so it's cool that we got that.
Yeah, that's fun to see.
I hadn't either.
I really like the artwork. But yeah, I'm excited for it because, like we kind of said, their Pendulum and Red Rising, they weren't great showings for Stonemeyer, and I really want to see Stonemeyer do well because of how much I love all the other games besides those. Although, to be fair, I haven't played Pendulum. So, all right, so
we should just start at the top, start with Andrew, and work our way down.
Yeah, let's do that. Let me put up the little banner. Actually, remembered to do that.
Well done.
All right. So
All right.
our we'll start with Andrew. What's your number 5?
Root.
Oh,
Wow.
I own Root and most of the other stuff, and have never had the opportunity to play it in any way, shape, or form. I actually got it all through Leader Games. They just sent it to me. I asked for it a while ago, and it eventually just all showed up. I think I can't remember. It's Marshall Britt. I'm pretty good friends with, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll send you the stuff," and then he forgot, and I bugged him, and eventually he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna send it to you. What's your address?" And I got like all the stuff. I have like play mats and all the expansions and everything. It's still all in the shrink.
Wow.
Oh.
nice.
And I've heard
I
lots
can
of good things about it, but it's something I think like you need people to play and people are interested or get a good teacher, and
Yeah.
so
It's in my top 10, but I totally get having it sit there for a while because it's a lot to learn.
Yeah.
You have to learn each faction, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I would start with just the first 4, obviously, and get used to that
Mhm.
before going into expansions. But
Yeah, we've talked
has
about
anybody played the digital version?
Yeah.
That Direwolf put together.
yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, you think it's worth just going to get it? Like, does it have an AI and you can play single player?
It does, and I played it quite a bit. But because I already knew the game, I didn't go through the tutorial, so I don't know how the tutorial is. I will say that if you just jump in, you'll just see a bunch of stuff happen and you won't understand what's going on. And it'll kind of tell you like, okay, now do this, and you're like, okay, and you won't quite get it. So maybe I know that there's a tutorial. I just didn't go through it, so I can't speak to how good that is. But that might be the easier way to learn it, actually, if the tutorial's good.
Yeah, I imagine coming from Direwolf, they're pretty on the ball with their digital. I mean, they were a digital studio first until they got into physical stuff. So on the digital end,
The game's
they do
great.
a pretty good job. So I imagine that experience would probably be okay.
Yeah, no, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's on my list. I have no particular order. I'm just like counting things. So
It's
Nice.
also design-wise, it's a marvel to really see how they balanced all of the factions, including the expansions. It's pretty impressive. So
Yeah, I think we've talked about on the show, the barrier to that one is either you need to learn everything so you can teach it well to all the players, or you find a teacher that knows it well enough to teach it to all the players. And that's been my hurdle with it, and why I haven't played it is I haven't been able to find someone, although I know people that have, or we go to conventions and they're playing it. I don't know anybody that knows them all well enough to be like, why am I doing what I'm doing and why are they doing what they're doing to me? So I understand it all.
And then you've got to find that person who also wants to teach.
Right.
Mhm.
I'll
Sometimes,
teach.
especially for a
anytime.
game like this, it's harder to find a teacher because that teacher is like, this is going to be a lot of work.
Yep.
I'll teach it
All right.
if you can find me at a convention.
Cool. I know.
I don't know what convention I'll be at next. Who knows?
Ooh, look at that.
I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. No promises yet.
Mm-hmm.
All right, great. Mike, your number 1 or number 5, whatever. Yeah, number 5.
Yeah, sure. My number 5. I'm going to come out of the gate with Cascadia. I still haven't played it yet. We've talked
really?
about it. Haven't done it. I bring it to QSCon Tuesdays. We just haven't. I don't think I brought it last week. And Nate, who goes, was like, "Did you bring it?" I didn't have it. But we've been talking about it so much. It's top on my list of getting to the table.
It's so good.
Yep.
So I don't remember who shared it. It might have been you, Katia, that there's a website, not like an app, but like a website that hosts a single player version of it. And that's I've only played it on that website hosting it, and I think they put it up. It's not like some third party or anybody just did it. They're like, we're gonna make a single player web version of it that you can play. And I played it there. That's the only because I don't own it, and haven't had an opportunity to play it in person with people, but even that single player web version is really fun. I'm like, well, this game is good. I want to play this
It's good. It's
IRL with people.
yeah. It was probably my favorite game I played in 2021. Yeah.
Yeah, I was deceived by the simple nature of the game. Like normally whenever I see a smaller box, simple little pieces, I think, okay, this will be a fun little thing that maybe I'll play once or twice. But I've played this game like 5 times in the first 2 weeks I got it. It's just easy to get into and it's fun.
Yeah.
It's addictive.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
Very
have
good.
it with me tomorrow.
There you go.
Maybe I'll play it.
You'll have to report
Just
back.
Just don't bring anything else, and that way you'll play it.
Sure. Yeah, that's how that works. Yep.
Yeah, good pick. Katia?
All right, so I'm gonna go with my number 6 just because I do have 6 lined up. But my first one here is New York Zoo.
Oh yeah.
Man, that game, the components are awesome. I'm pretty sure it's a polyomino game from something like that, from looking at inside the box.
Yep.
I started reading the rules a long time ago and I gave up like halfway. It was so poorly explained that I was like, I need somebody to teach me this game. It felt like it was so convoluted, and there was a lot of things that I felt like during the game I would constantly have to like look back in the rule book to make sure I was doing it right. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, this looks like it should be pretty straightforward. And it looked way better than Barren Park, which, I mean, Barren Park was already replaced by Cosmic Colonies, but this looks also like it could, fill that, animal piece of it. And anyways, same with you and Root. I need to find a teacher because I want to play it. But yeah, so
I have one on my list that I read half the rule book and gave up too. So I'll follow up with that next. But am I? Oh, go ahead.
I was like, I don't know how to play this, but looking at it, and I've played Barren Park and other polyomino games, it doesn't seem like it's that complicated. I'm wondering, like, is the rule book just kind of poorly presenting it? Because I'm looking at it going, this doesn't look like a complicated game.
It's an Uwe Rosenberg game, and from what I heard, it's pretty common of his rule books to not be so clear. So I think that could be part of the problem.
I've run into situations like that too. I've read and reread the same paragraph in rule books before. I'm just like, I just don't understand what you're trying to say in this. Like it's not making sense.
I was reading parts of it and I had already forgotten the part right before that because it was explained in a way that it just kind of like took a second to visualize, and it's like, okay, so it's gonna work, okay. And then I moved on to the next paragraph and I'm like, I already forgot what I just read. Like, it was just not. Anyways, so yeah, someday I'll play it.
So, question. I mean, and I don't mean to. Well, I don't even know what I should ask, but I have played the King Domino. I've played Barren Park. I don't understand the love of the polyomino thing. Could you explain, like, what do you enjoy about it?
The puzzliness of it. Normally, like, a good polyomino game has a little bit of planning in how you're going to fit your shapes in as tightly as possible to, score or whatever, or finish first, whatever it is, right? Like I'm thinking even Patchwork. So in Patchwork, you're trying to fit everything tightly because otherwise you end up with a bunch of holes and you're going to end up not being able to finish your whole thing. But it's also about like efficiency and filling out that 7x7 because you want that extra token before the opponent. So there's always a puzzly aspect to those games, and that appeals to me. I have not played Isle of Cats.
Yeah, I agree with Katia. There's you get that sense of accomplishment, and you can get it like multiple times over the course of a game with like polyomino game, puzzle games. I mean, I think if you think about it, and maybe Chris, you're not the kind of person who likes to put together jigsaw puzzles, but I mean, I know for me and for a lot of people, sitting down and putting together a jigsaw puzzle, and especially like finding that like one piece that fits in that spot, and you're like, yes, especially if you like, I don't know, like if you assemble jigsaw puzzles in the way that I like to, where you kind of work on a section. You're like, okay,
Yep.
I'm going to build like the little house part over here. I'm going to find all the red barn pieces, and I'm going to put it all together. And you finish that little section, you're like, yes, I did that thing. And you see, little parts of a bigger picture coming together. So you get like small wins along the way. And I think that's what polyomino type games, even like Carcassonne, offer you. Like I think Carcassonne still holds up to this day. I'll always happily play it because you finish a road, you score some points, you're like, yeah, you did a thing, but you maybe have some other stuff you're working on. Then you like finish that city, and then when you get like that perfect piece, like, oh, I need this piece is like a corner, but it also has this roads because it's and you get it, and you're like, yes, I got the perfect piece. You finish that, you score the big city, or you connect your farm, stuff like that. You get small victories along the way that I think a lot of games don't really offer as much because you just have to like wait to the end. So with things like this, especially when you score it along the way, you do something, go ahead.
And to me, I grew up playing Tetris as well. So like this is so reminiscent of that feeling of like you have your stack and then you have that little sliver that you're waiting for the bar to finally drop down, and then you get your Tetris, and then you might get another one right after, and you're like, yes. And it's just that feeling of like having everything tightly, neatly like put together. And I don't know, I enjoy it. So
intellectually, I understand what you're saying. I just haven't felt that experience myself with those kind of things. So, but I'm always open to see if new ones will do that for me. Thanks. That's
Chris, have you played Karuba?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Is that also polyomino?
It isn't. It's a tile laying game.
Yeah. You showed that on the show several times. Like you're trying to get to the other side, right?
Right, and the tiles that you're placing have 2, 3, or 4 like trails on it. You can't rotate the tile like most polyomino games. You can at least rotate the piece, but placing the trail down to get your adventurer to the temple, but making it so that the piece can function not only for like your yellow adventurer, but for your blue adventurer. Like that's the same kind of feeling as like covering up a certain rock type in Cosmic Colonies, or putting together the right piece at the right time in really any other polyomino game.
I definitely get the idea and appreciate and enjoy games that give the little rewards, almost like do this and then next turn do this and got reward. Do this, new reward. That's why I like London. That's why I like, there's a lot of games, a whole list of games I could go through that also reward you that way. I just haven't felt that same kind of reward through polyomino. But like I said, I've only played those two, unless you're counting Carcassonne, in which I have the same kind of experience with Carcassonne. But yeah, I mean, I'm always willing to be given a new experience that turns me into a fan.
Add it to the list.
Yeah. And I do want to try. They're talking about Ark Nova over here too, because that's also a zoo game.
Yeah, that's getting a lot of buzz.
Yeah,
it is.
That's not on my shelf yet, so I can't put it on there. But I do want to try it. Okay, so my number 5. Okay, so I'll go ahead and say the one that I stopped reading halfway through the rule book, which is I think I complained about it.
Oh boy, yeah.
Coffee Traders. We're talking about like a 30-page rule book, and I ended. No, actually, let me take that back. I think it was 25 pages, and I ended on page 17. And I couldn't continue. Not there was a lot to it, and then, I won't say it was poorly written, but there's just so much to it that halfway through I was like, I wish they had trimmed down the actual game just so I could finally be playing it at this point. It was like 3 hours later, because it was that same kind of deal where I'd read a paragraph and go, what? And and have to go back, and I'd ask Aaron, like, what does this say to you? And I had to set it up to go, oh, this goes here. This is what they're talking. And it was just like it took me a while, but I still really want to play it, especially now that I've devoted that time to the rule book, right? I'm like committed at this point, but it's such a huge game, and I liked the concepts that I was reading about, the parts that I got to, but there was just so much to it. Like that, I mean, that's only part of your player board. It's got all these pieces. It kind of does the same thing as Terra Mystica, where you have your pieces that you move them and it activates stuff on the board. And yeah, no, it's got a lot of stuff that's like, ooh, I like the sound of that. Like this whole thing right here took up my whole table.
Yeah,
it's huge.
It's huge. I remember actually in August at the gathering, there were a couple people playing it, and I remember thinking, "What is that beast?" And that's what it was.
Yep.
Yeah, and I love big games like this, and some of the concepts, like I said, that was going on. Yeah, see, that's the evil rule book. Right there. And the other thing that pulled me back is there is a separate rule book for 2-player.
Oh, okay.
And I was going to play it 2-player as I learn all my games with me and Aaron. So, Aaron and me. So I was like, after I finish this, I have to then go to this other rule book, which looked like maybe 8 pages again. And I was like, oh, I just can't do it. But I got to get to it soon. That's why it's top of the list right now, because if I don't, then I'll forget the 17 pages that I devoted to in the first place, right?
And you can't get through like a 20-minute how to play and be okay with it.
Did you find a 20-minute how to play? Is that what you're asking? Just
in general, like would that help to?
So I think it would help most people. I am a visual learner, and that how to play it better do it correctly, because if I don't have it in front of me and get to manipulate the pieces and stuff, if you start just going, okay, what you're going to do is shuffle these cards and blah blah, my brain just goes and melts away.
Right. Most how to plays like Rodney will make sure like he's showing you what pieces and explaining what comes out and stuff like that. I don't know if he has one. I'm just saying, like, for example.
Yeah. The reason why I like Rodney's is because the image he is showing you while he describes what you're doing is the thing, right?
Right.
So it's just like whenever you're being told how to teach, if you have a good teacher, they're going to point to the cards they're talking about. Right. They're going to pick them up. They're going to show them to you. They're going to show you how you do this on the board and stuff. So if you can find me a good video like that, sure, that'd probably be better.
Challenge accepted.
I really want coffee now. I just want to drink coffee.
Oh yeah, I know. I love coffee too. So. But yeah, I don't mean to pull it up just to complain about the rule book. It really does look like it's got a lot of great mechanisms and stuff going on that intrigued me enough to get through 17 pages before I couldn't go on. Plus, I think it was like 1:30 in the morning.
That could be part of the problem.
Well, I mean, if you start to learn a game at 10:30 and you're expecting to go to bed around 3, you think you'll get through it, but I was like, I'm not going to get through it. So, oh yeah, lots of caveats on that story. Sure.
Sure.
That's my number 5.
Went wrong.
That's my number 5, though.
All right.
Number 4.
Yeah, I recently got a copy of Kabuto Sumo.
Oh, I just played that recently.
Yeah, so I got it from a friend, a local game designer, game publisher, who was offloading a bunch of games, and he's like, "Hey, does anybody local want this stuff?" And I had seen pictures of this, and like it looked really cute and it sounded really clever. So I recently picked it up, and I almost was like, nah, because I was like, I don't know when I'm gonna play this. It's gonna just sit on my shelf. But I was like, nah, this one looks pretty cute and clever, and I think it would be fun to have. And I just really liked the look of the components, and so I was like, yeah, I'll take that off your hands. So I've had it for a couple of months now, and I don't think I've even opened it. So I should at least look at look at all these gorgeous pieces and stuff. It just looks fun. So I am eager to get it out and bring it to the table.
Have you played this, Katia?
I have
Oh,
played it.
Is it good? Did you enjoy it?
It was good.
Uh-oh.
It went too long.
Oh.
It felt like it should have played in 25 minutes. And we called it after an hour. We're like, well, I guess this is a stalemate. It would not end. So
Yeah,
you have to have one of the bugs fall off.
Mm-hmm.
And none of them ever fell off. Didn't matter.
The bugs are the colored pieces, the purple,
like the ones
pink,
with the
yellow.
the sumo outfit. They just would not fall off. Like every time somebody would by the time that they were getting close, then it would get back to that person's turn. So they would push themselves back in with another piece. And then one of our 3 players was always low on pieces. So he was focused on, I need to push whatever it is off of the board so that more pieces fall off and I stay alive. Because if you run out of pieces, your bug is dead. Like you end up losing, or if you run out of pieces, you basically can no longer be pushing, but your bug is still up for grabs for somebody to knock it off. So he was focused basically on, he was in survival mode. So he was pushing wherever he needed to push to get pieces to fall off. So his girlfriend and I were the only ones really focusing on trying to get the bugs on the, on the outer edges. But yeah, it never happened. Yeah.
These are supposed to be bugs because they look like sumo wrestlers.
Yeah, they're bugs. They're beetle bugs.
Oh.
Like the rhinoceros beetles or whatever you call them.
Yeah, aren't they dung? I thought they were dung beetles. Maybe not.
No, they're rhino beetles. But anyways,
that's a safe bug.
And it felt like some of the cards were not overly well explained. Like we grabbed bugs to start with, and 2 of us ended up trading them in for a different one because it was like, I don't understand what this is saying. The way that they were explained, it's almost as if they assume you've played the game and you're used to it. So it just felt like I needed a little bit more to tell me what to do on this card. So anyways. Hey, Chris.
If you want a game that's similar, that definitely does not play in an hour, that does the same kind of mechanism, I think it's called Red Cap Ruckus.
Oh.
It's well produced. It's got the same concept where there's like this mushroom top, right? Red cap, and you're pushing your chips onto the thing just like you're doing here, but your chips are like the warrior or the assassin or whatever the hell they're called. They each have a different ability, so when you use them, you get to do something. And if you knock something off, if it's somebody else's color, you get points. It didn't overstay its welcome. It did the same kind of pushing thing. What I loved about this was that little platform that you get to move around as your starter. Red Cap Ruckus doesn't have that. You gotta put it on the end of the mushroom and then slide it. And there were some instances where it would fall off, and then you kind of felt bad. Like technically it fell off, but technically you didn't even have your turn. So it didn't have that where that orange thing is in lower right. It didn't have that little like starting piece. But other than that, it played really smoothly, and it was fun to have the different abilities of the different tokens you were pushing through. So similar experience, similar gameplay, just different. It wasn't as well done as they do. They do really high quality kind of components and production value. And not to knock Red Cap Ruckus, but it wasn't as good as theirs. But the gameplay wise was really good.
Okay, but I mean, it could have just been a fluke that our game didn't end. Like it was to the point that we're like, yeah, are we doing something wrong? And we reread the rules, and it was like, no, this is about right. It's just I don't know.
Too good at bugs, sumo wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, it could be also the combination of the bugs that we had. Maybe it was just the way that I don't know, because they all have different abilities. So there could be some combination maybe that will speed up. I could see but yeah, like I mean, I would play it again. I have it like it'll get played at some point. But yeah, it was just a weird first time.
I need to send whoever's taking these shots like a troubles game, because someone's just really enjoying making some great photography on these shots. All right, so Mike, you're number 4.
I believe the answer to this is no, right, Katia?
Yeah, nobody got knocked out. We called it after an hour.
Bonkers.
All
right, where am I gonna go? I think Corey might still be watching. Corey and Donnie might still be there. And he's been trying to get me to play this game for a while. Res Arcana. I'm staring at it right there.
Really good.
It's another one I brought to QSCon Tuesdays in hopes of getting it played. And to go along with Cascadia I've been bringing, and last week I didn't bring it, and that's when somebody wanted to play it. Res Arcana I've been bringing, and last week I was already involved in a game, and another table broke out and started playing it. So it's like they've both been eluding me at my own events on Tuesdays, but they're both top on. I mean, obviously top 5, but they've both been recommended numerous times for how good they are. This and Cascadia, and I just haven't been able to get it to the table.
Oh, I love those.
I love the art. I have the expansion. Actually, the game that you and I are designing.
Those are cool. Homemade something right there. That doesn't.
Those don't come with the game.
No.
Those look like the books from Spellbound that I showed you guys with those creatures. Yeah, so that one.
Very cool.
It's very good.
Yeah, look, production value looks great. The gameplay has been definitely recommended. It's high on a lot of people's lists. I haven't had the opportunity to play it.
I should get it for those components too. I mean, if the game's good and it's got nice components, that's always a bonus.
Yeah, there's Corey. Corey's one of the ones that probably appreciates me the most. Yeah, I mean the insert's great. The production value of it, I don't even know who. Sandcastle Games. It's Tom Lehman. So
yeah. Well, if you don't for some reason get it in before, I'm sure we'll play it at the gathering.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll make sure I bring it.
I'm sure Tom will be there.
Oh, that's true. Maybe he'll have it.
There were copies. I remember I played it, not the last one, but the time before that, which was like 3 years ago now.
Right. Jeez.
Yeah. It was a funny story because we were playing it. And we were all kind of learning it together the first time, and it's actually I found it was like relatively easy. It's very intuitive, which I thought was really cool. Like the way the reason why things do what they do, especially with the different elements and how they interact, all just like they make sense. At least they did to me. It's like, oh, this does this because water puts out fire, so that's why these cards have this interaction. It's like, oh, you have fire, and then this material, and then you burn the wood with the fire and it turns into this, and that converts it to points. And it was all really clever. And I don't know, you felt good about the cleverness. You're like, oh, I get it. But there are certain combinations that tend to feel pretty powerful. I think you could all tend to feel really powerful in your own way when you play the game. But in a way that's interesting because you feel like you're doing just broken things often. And I think when you see other people do stuff and you're like, well, that's broken too. And I remember we had a particular interaction, and because again, like Race for the Galaxy, it's all very much like icon driven. So you're like, I think this is how I'm supposed to translate these things. And I remember we went over to Tom, and we're like, is this right? It's great when the design of the game is there and you're like, am I doing this right? Because it doesn't feel like it because it just felt so powerful. And he's like, yep, that's the way it's supposed to work. And you're like, it feels like it's not balanced. He's like, no, that's how I intended it. I'm like, okay.
Cool. Yeah, if it's coming from the designer, it's got to be right. Yep.
I think he was like very willing to accept that the game wasn't balanced, but in a way that he's like happy with. He's like, yeah, there's just this busted thing you can do if you get this, this, and this.
Right.
Neato.
There you go.
Good game.
We're on my turn.
I'm curious. What have you? Any of you played it at 2-player or just 3 or 4?
I think only 3 and 4. I don't know if I played it with 2, but I think it'd be okay.
I've only played it at 2,
Oh.
and I was like, "This is a good game," but I'm not. It's not grabbing me, and I think it's only because it's not great at 2. I could be wrong. I just haven't tried 3 or 4, so don't take me at grain of salt and all that.
Wait. You could be wrong?
Could I mean? There's always the first time, right?
Does it have any special accommodations for 2-player only, like Race for the Galaxy does, where like it plays slightly differently? Because like I love Race for the Galaxy at 2 players, but I feel like it's a very different game than if you play it with 3 or 4. Just the way.
It looks like I had the same experience. I only played once. I played. I think we played it 3 times because I kept thinking like this should feel better because I really like how this does this. A lot of things you were talking about, but I think it might be player count. I'm not sure. I need to try it with other people.
The other thing that I noticed about the game that I think is worth knowing if you haven't played it is that it's fairly quick paced. Like you think you're going to have more time, and the games tend to end pretty quickly. More like you're like, I'm going to have time to like do this thing, and then you're like, oh, you're at like 8 points, and you're going to easily scoop up 2 more points next turn. You have to be very mindful of like your efficiency because games will run away from you really fast, and you're like, I have time to do this cool thing. Like, no.
I do remember that. I remember thinking like, just as I feel like I'm about to get into a cool spot, it ends, and I want it to last just a little bit longer to be able to. A lot of engine games are like that, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, cool. So that's your number 4, Katia.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the post by a friend of mine about the game. So my number 4 is Witchstone. So I'm going to stay the same theme.
Nice.
I'm trying to find his post because he actually mentioned something about the game Ingenious that like comes through in here. And that, I mean, I like the game Ingenious quite a bit. So to me, it's like, it sort of like bumped it up in my queue of like, I need to play this. So, it just looks like, it almost reminds me of the Vivid board, like the brain board with the connections. But yeah, I don't know. It just looks so cool. I really, really, really want, and I love the theme. I just really want to play it like soon.
I thought the same thing about Vivid, the board on it.
Yeah.
I have a question related to that since you brought it up. And if you don't feel comfortable, if anybody doesn't feel comfortable answering for reasons, I understand. But is Vivid good?
Yeah, I liked it.
Okay. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although
I haven't played it. I remember seeing the art for it and like thinking it was going to be a particular type of game. I'm not really sure what, but then when I saw the board and like the very abstractness of it, I was like, this does not feel like the game I had envisioned it would be.
Your memories are on they're like the tiles that are in the market type thing, like the ones that you're eventually going to grab and bring to your board. But yeah, it's got like a nice puzzly feel to it.
I've only played virtually and I enjoyed it. I have it and it's it's on the shelf actually. But
well, technically you played it though.
That's why it's not on there.
I only picked games that I haven't played yet because I definitely have a bunch that I've played before, but my copy here is unplayed. So, but yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, when I saw all the art for Vivid, the box cover, like the marketing for it, I I was like very drawn to all the art, and
Mhm.
when I saw the execution of it, I was like, it felt very abstracted, and I felt like there's the art that hooked me into it wasn't there on the table presence of it, and I was like, I don't know if I would like this because it didn't really meet with what I thought it was going to be like.
It is an abstract game that has good art. I'll put it that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah,
anyway,
you're trying to make
derailed it.
connections. You're trying to make connections in the brain, basically, is that abstract part of the
Mhm.
board. So
You're firing off memories, right? Your brain board, you're firing off memories of like, I remember doing something when I was a kid. Like I remember doing this physically, but what did I think I was doing? Like fighting a dragon or whatever.
Mhm.
And the connections you're making on your brain are helping you remember what you were imagining doing. So it is abstracted, but if you get into the theme of making those connections, that's what it's doing.
So that's Witchstone. I'm kidding.
Yeah, so there's Witchstone.
no,
Yeah,
that's
so-
Witchstone, and it looks awesome.
This would be on my list if I actually had the game. It's hard to get.
Is it?
R&R, yeah.
My local store had it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I need to revisit my local store. It hadn't been in a little while.
Again, Chris, you're down in Texas. You get everything later than everybody else.
True.
R&R put this out here? Because I saw the board, it was Hook also. So they must have
They
imported
seem to
it.
always have the same, like they must have some kind of partnership.
Yeah.
Like ongoing
yeah.
partnership. Yeah.
Very cool.
I miss those guys. It's just a random aside, but I miss those guys.
Yeah,
Soon.
they're great.
Are we all right, so we're on our on my number 4.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right. So my number 4, I hope Peter's still listening because he's the reason why it's still on the shelf.
The Dwellings? Oh.
Forgotten Waters.
Oh.
And the reason I'm just joking with him, we said that he was going to teach it to me at BGG Con, and it was like, here it is, and we'd also be like, here's another game we could do, and it just kept being, oh yeah, I'll teach this one, and we'll learn this one, and it just kept being the second one behind, and so we never actually got to it. So I still need to learn it. But it's on there. Obviously, I like Plaid Hat. A big fan of the Crossroads mechanism that I know is in here, but it does the game completely different from what I hear of Dead of Winter. So I'm really interested in seeing how that works. Fun pirate stuff and all. And I love the cover. So
Nice. I've heard good things about it. I just got their Comanauts. I'm interested in playing that one. They do good stuff, and their production is really good.
Cool. Yeah, I saw half of this played virtually too. Like I got invited to play, and I was like, "Oh, I can't." But if I can watch you play, and maybe you teach it and stuff, then I'll know how to play. But I could only stay for half the teach, so I was like, "Okay, I got to go," kind of thing. But
it's like learning half a rule book.
Yeah, seems to be something I tend to be doing here. Okay, a pattern. Yeah. But anyway, yep, Forgotten Waters. By far not the oldest game on the shelf. But Andrew, number 3.
Oh, Peter, it's Chris's fault. Don't blame you.
No, we played tons and tons of games. It's nobody's fault. I was just playing.
I was looking at my shelf, and one thing that jumped out at me that I have, and I've even opened but haven't done anything with, is War Chest.
Oh, that looks so cool.
Yeah, the 2-player from AEG. It came out a couple of years ago. It's a big old heavy box full of tons of chips and really nice components, and it's supposed to be this really interesting 2-player war game that is just sitting there, and haven't done anything with it, but really would like to.
Yeah, I saw someone talking about this. I don't know much about it.
I think it's a 2-player sort of strategic, or maybe tactical is more the right word, abstract, and like a chess style game. you have the different units and they have different powers and they all represent different kinds of troops. And I think you're trying to hold spots on the board or kill particular units. I'm not doing a very good job describing it because I haven't played it, but I remember seeing a demo of it at Gen Con a couple of years ago and picking up a copy. And like this is a point where it's like, oh, it's nice to have some just good, solid 2-player games. And yet there it sits.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nobody here's played it?
Nope.
It looks a lot like Tosh Kalar. I don't know if you've ever played that one.
I have not.
No one's heard of that one.
That's a good
I've
one.
heard of it.
Yeah, I've heard the name.
Yeah, that's a
It's
fun one.
It's a Vlada game, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, it's a Czech games game. Yeah. I've heard of it.
Yeah, the board's giving off that vibe. If the you're playing characters on cards, and then you're putting tokens on the board to try and knock out other people's characters. I don't know this game, and I don't know if it's a fair comparison, but I got that vibe from at least the map. But Tosh Kalar is great. I mean, you don't even need the expansions. The base game is fantastic. Also, he makes phenomenal games.
A couple.
Yeah. All right. Very good.
That's my number 3.
Number 3, Mike.
Oh, I'm next. Damn it.
Yep.
I don't know where to go with this. I'm going to put Unsettled down as my number 3.
I think
Other game I can't
Peter
get a
who
hold of.
just said he got his copy and he's excited to play. I think he
Yeah,
just
I have
said
it.
that. Yeah.
It's there. I mean, production value is great. The gameplay looks super fun visiting the different planets. Bobby recommended it. Yeah, it's there for me. The Orange Nebula makes really cool stuff. Everything I know about it, it seems like it's a pretty solid experience. And then the replay nature of it is high. So there's a lot about it that puts it on my list.
Did I back this? Why don't I have this?
So that's what I said when Bobby was like, "Oh, I got this game." They were selling it at I don't know. I think it was at Gen Con. And I was like, "Oh, do I spend the money? Do I want to get it? It looks really neat. I love the idea of like the different planets, like the different expansions or whatever boxes or different planets you can go to." And then it couldn't have been 2 days after we got back. I got like a Kickstarter update from them going, "We're getting ready to ship your rewards." And I'm like, "Oh shit, I guess I backed it." So I'm lucky I didn't spend the money at Gen Con because I forgot that I had backed it, and then it showed up. So
Yeah, but you always need 2 copies, remember?
it's true. And I found out I didn't back it with all the extra shit that Bobby got at Gen Con, so I was kind of upset. But I'm not going to dump more money into it until I at least play Bobby's copy.
Right.
That's funny. You almost did the exact same thing that I did with
Vindication.
the Vindication.
Yeah, that's your copy of Vindication up here.
Yep.
Mhm.
I backed it, forgot I backed it, and then bought it in the pre-order.
Yep.
That's
And now
funny.
I have one of his copies.
Yep.
I mean, I bought it from you, so whatever. I didn't like take it from him.
Yeah, I totally missed this campaign. I was upset that I missed it. So
Yeah, it looks really neat.
very cool.
We're already back to me.
Yep. Back to you. You're number 3
All right.
or 4,
Number-
depending on how much you cheated.
I have it right here. It's a small game and I just got it.
Oh,
It's
nice.
called Chiseled.
Oh, Chiseled. That's Grand Gamers Guild, right?
Yes, originally Copper Frog Games, and then he partnered with Grand Gamers to publish. And it's a deck deconstruction game. So basically, you're using tools, from what I understand, and getting rid of stuff in your deck to make it more worthy. So, and it plays solo. So I think I'm gonna try it solo at some point. But yeah, like it comes with I almost dropped that, but there's like four decks of cards in here. So
There's no pictures on BGG. You could be the first to post them.
it's right here. Take a screenshot. But yeah, I'm surprised there's no picture because the artwork of it is actually quite nice. Like I kind of want to just open a deck here to I mean
Deck
they have
Deck
a little
deconstruction
strip.
sounds interesting. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Mhm.
I said like they have a little tab and I can't even find the beginning of it.
Oh,
Yeah, deck. I mean, how do they describe it?
I mean, it's really cool and on theme, right? You're thinking about you're chiseling away at a rock for a sculpture, so you're chiseling away at your deck to make it function better. It's smart.
Yeah, it says here the objective. It says using a shared set of tools, remove cards from your block of marble, which is your deck, to accentuate the elements within your final sculpture and remove ugly scrap. I thought it said crap. Ugly scrap. Whoever has the highest point value in their deck when the 3 critics arrive and award their bonuses win. So okay, well here you can kind of see, but like there's like it's a part of like a sculpture. I'm trying to, like I said, they
go ahead.
make
Show it again.
a little tab and I can't even hold on. I'm trying to open it. I feel the pressure now. I don't like it.
Now we're all watching you.
I know, because it's like I really want to be able to show. I'm just gonna use the pen here. The full 42 turned unboxing video.
Just open cards with a pen.
No, it's just to get it started, okay?
Like a rubber band around a deck.
They make that little strip that is supposed to make it super easy, and I can't even find the beginning of it.
And I always use a pocket knife to open them.
And then you blame me for using a pen? Oh, okay.
I hope you're right about this, Edward. I'd totally jump on the unsettled Kickstarter.
So it has like pieces of here. It's like all arm stuff. But then as you go through, there's like body parts for the sculpture.
Where are the X-rated ones?
I don't know. I'm looking, man.
You know you were thinking it.
Not me.
And then there's the heads. So like it feels like the art is it's very thematic. It definitely like comes through. And then here you have what looks like the scraps, the ugly scraps that you have to like ditch from your deck because there's a -3 written on the card.
Oh.
So I'm assuming that's the stuff you're trying to shed. More arm pieces. The tools must be in a different deck. I'm not going to open another one, but yes. So that is one I'm excited for. And yeah,
That looks pretty
I
cool.
will report back when I get it, when I try it. So
Back in your. Uh-oh. Now I've messed up the whole thing.
There you go. No,
wait,
that's not right.
I'm
Wait,
supposed to do one more.
almost. There we go.
There we go.
All right, so we're on number 3. Some of the more recent ones we were talking about have been fairly new games. This one isn't. It's not really old, though. It's fairly old. Feast of Odin.
Oh
I've
yeah.
never played that either.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
You got the little thumbnail image so quickly in the last game show episode we had. I thought you had played it. So I got this another little rant about how I should stop getting games. So I purchased this like a year ago, but also with a pre-order, and I can't remember what it was, but of course it took almost like an entire year to get to me because that pre-order just sat there forever. I think it was Furnace. It was no, it wasn't Furnace. That was the other game. No, it was just another game that sat on pre-order for a while. So now that I have it, it's now on my shelf of opportunity, and I need to dig into it because I'm a big fan of Rosenberg, and we just relearned and have been playing quite a bit Caverna because we hadn't touched it for a long time. So
That's good.
be interested to see if this game takes over Caverna for us.
Isn't that a polyomino game?
Might be.
It is.
Pretty sure.
Well,
There
then
you
maybe
go.
it'll be the first one that really grabs me.
There you go.
Like I said, I'm not against keep trying them.
Look at all
Because
those
you're trying to
components.
fill up your board with the. There's polyominoes in it. I don't know if I would say it's a polyomino game, but you are trying to fill up your board with the polyominoes, and you're trying to fill them up. Yeah, you might like that one.
Wow. A lot of bits. I hope it
bits.
comes pre-punched.
Yeah, right.
I think
I'm
I
not
already
gonna-
punched
I'm
it.
not going to get into that.
I think I already punched it. I typically open up my games when I get them and punch them for fun because I enjoy that.
Punching is one thing. That's all I'm going to say. Don't.
Anyway.
Oh god.
Is it back up to me?
There you go. Yes. So number 2.
All right. So this is kind of a cheat because I've played versions of the game, but I have a lot of it that I haven't really taken off the shelf. So I've picked Unmatched because I have a ton of the sets, but there's so many characters I still haven't played. So I don't know if I'm sort of cheating. Like there's so much more still to play with what I have. And like I got all the figures and I painted all of them early in the pandemic when I was like, I need something to do. I haven't painted in a while. I'll paint some dudes. So I want to get more of it off the shelf. So that's my number 2. It's kind of like it's kind of a cheat, but there are entire boxes of characters that I haven't even touched yet.
They just came out with Volume 2 as well.
Yeah, and I'd be really interested to see if the Marvel stuff, other than Deadpool, ever actually comes out.
Sure it will. They know Marvel makes money, so.
Yeah, but I mean, getting a little insider baseball here, like that relationship between Restoration and Mondo has ended officially. Like Mondo's not making games anymore,
right?
And really hasn't been for a year or so now. And we don't really need to get into that. But the licensing went through Mondo for the Marvel stuff, and so it's unclear if Restoration alone has or was able to get the rights to the Marvel stuff to actually produce it. Somehow they got the Deadpool thing out in time, but the rest of it, I don't know. I've talked to Justin about it last year, and I was like, what are you guys going to do? And he's like, we don't know. Do you have any advice? So I'm not sure where it's at. But I would like to see the Marvel stuff come out. I think it would be pretty awesome.
You'd always go DC to IDW. Oh, wait, no.
I gave him a couple of different options. I was like, here's some other people who have relationships with Marvel that you could reach out to if you don't want to get the rights, but still want to, because the game's like done. Like I think all the art's done, everything's done, it's developed, the sculpts are done, it's probably approved. But when your contract expires, you can't sell, and that's probably where it's sitting at right now.
I haven't played Unmatched, but I heard it was kind of like Star Wars Duels. Have you ever played that?
Mm-hmm. It is Star Wars Duels. It's restoration of Star Wars Epic Duels.
Excellent. Well, that's a great game. So
is that I think it's better because it's I don't know. It's arguable if it's better depending on what you like. Epic Duels had dice and there's a little bit more random. All of the combat is card play driven. You're just comparing values, but then the cards have abilities and stuff. But every character is unique. They all have their own unique decks. They all play and fight very differently. And there's so many characters now that you can, and that's the beauty of the system is it's so modular. You can have anybody fight anybody. So you can have Deadpool fight Medusa, or Bigfoot fight King Arthur, or Buffy the Vampire Slayer fight Sherlock Holmes.
That's the one I want, is the Buffy Vampire Slayer one.
It's kind of like Funkoverse, right? You can get Batman to fight. You get Batman to fight Rose in Funkoverse.
Yeah, and having worked for both companies, Mondo and Funko, it's definitely on both sides of that conversation because I was at Mondo when we worked on this, and I was at Funko when the early Funko stuff happened. They're very different games. in many, many ways. And, I think it's kind of, other than, figural skirmish based, board games, they don't share a lot of similarity in my mind.
Yep. I agree.
Cool.
Nice. Yeah, I want to try this
some of
out
the stuff
too.
on my shelf that I haven't gotten to bust into yet.
Cool.
So I kind of cheated.
That's
Mike,
Michael,
you're number
what do
2.
All right, I'm gonna go with man, I don't know which one to pick. I figured we might have at least a crossover, but I guess I was pipe dreaming that one. I'm gonna go with Paleo.
I thought maybe you would have had Witchstone in yours.
No, there are other ones. I mean, it's on
There's so many.
there. It's in the bag that I brought to Tuesday, but it's not on my I want to play it next list. But Paleo, I mean, not only because it won the award and it got a lot of praise, I've heard really good things about it from people that I trust that play games. I want to play it, and I wanted to play it since I got it before I found out it was nominated for whichever spiel it got.
You liked it before it was cool.
I liked it before.
Yeah.
I opened the shrink on it before it got nominated. Too. I was ready to do this one.
That's big for you.
Yeah, I like it. Also had something, I can't show it. I don't know if they have a picture of it. I can't show it, but Jason had posted in the QSCon Discord. It came with a sticker do you like these kind of games? And it gave you an idea of what to expect in the game, which I thought was really cool. And I haven't seen many companies do something like that. You get the Cosmos does the strategy versus luck and how lucky it is and how strategic the games are based on some random 1 to 10 grid or something. But this one actually had a sticker on the shrink that if you like these types of games, you'll like this. And I thought that was really smart of it too.
Yeah.
Is this a solo only game? What is a 2-player?
It's a co-op.
2 to 4, 10 plus, 45 to 60 minutes.
That's right, co-op. That's yep.
Right.
I remember loving it. Yeah, I remember loving the artwork on it, but I didn't grab it for the co-op reasons. Looks good though.
Yeah. I hadn't heard a bad thing about it.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
Katia, back to you.
Alrighty. My next one is the one I just got this past week. Crusaders.
Yes.
I know
I'm missing 2 pieces, and I emailed TMG. I don't think I'm gonna get a response. I don't know. I mean, there was an auto reply saying, "Oh, thank you for contacting us. Blah blah. We'll get back to you." So there's hope. But
Which pieces are you missing?
I'm missing 2 orange banks. No, I'm missing all of the orange banks. Yeah, basically, the whole orange faction doesn't have bank building.
Well, I can always ask Lance who to talk to because he used to work for them at the time. So,
I mean, I could ask him. I have him on contact. You'll
know somebody.
I thought I read somewhere that Cool Stuff was dealing with the rest of TMG's whatever.
Oh, maybe.
So you might want to contact Cool Stuff and say, "Hey, I got this copy. I'm missing some stuff." They might be able to help too.
So I know Seth, well, not Seth, but the people who owned the rest of the games or whatever made a deal with Cool Stuff to sell out all of their stock, right? Because TMG is essentially gone for now.
And I thought that originally, so I looked it up because I thought Capstone was selling some a few months back because I almost bought a copy, but I could be wrong. Maybe it wasn't Capstone. So
was Capstone US?
Yeah, I thought so. But anyways, clearly it's not that. So anyways, I'm excited to try it when I get the parts.
It's a great game. It's such a great game.
It's great. It's in my top 15, maybe my top 10. It's my favorite Rondell game.
Yeah, it looks really good.
And I'm still upset because I almost got chosen to be the artist for it.
Aw.
They honored you by making it ridiculously orange.
Yeah, I wish that was the case. I do always play orange though.
Of course you do.
Yeah, great game.
Yeah, it is really good.
You said you got yours this week. I got mine yesterday, so that's how new this is on my shelf.
Oh, I'm like, you got Crusaders yesterday? I don't understand. All right.
Yeah,
No.
me too. For a second,
No,
there, I'm like,
my number 2 I got yesterday, but everybody's talking about it, so I got to play it soon.
it's so good.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I just popped it out this morning. Just opened up the plastic, popped all the bits, looked at it. I made these little what are these called? These little baskets or whatever they are.
We can't see you. I'm covering you up with a comment.
Oh, good. Then you can't see what I'm doing here.
Oh, nice.
Brett,
Nice. Well done.
Brett's trying to help me out. Thanks, Brett. I'll look.
Oh,
I'll look
nice.
into it if I can find the thread because BGG is so intuitive to use.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure I will find that. Anyways, but thank you. Yeah, I'll look into it.
So anyway, yeah, I made the little baskets or whatever they're called. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah, the little cards that
Yeah.
you put the cards in. Aren't they fun?
The minute you make me like create a little 3D in cardboard, I'm like, oh, I got to play this. I don't know why, but it's just the little toy factor of putting things together. And like, now I got to know what I'm going to be doing with this thing.
And it was the right amount of building, right? Like just the right amount. You're constructing a few things that get you excited. I get it.
Yeah, Chris, did you have any problem punching out the wooden bits and folding them up together? Like they fit
no.
all? Okay.
Not at all. Why? Did you have issues?
No, mine's still in shrink. I was just asking.
Of course it is. No issues.
Nice. You didn't need glue to put anything together?
No.
No, somebody's just making fun of me.
Oh, I see. Did you have to?
With the game I assembled over the course of the weekend, yes, I sure did. For three constructions went awry. So yeah.
I see. Somebody threw their game into the forest, apparently.
Mm-hmm. They're getting creative.
But anyway,
so
yeah, there it
excited.
is. That's what I was looking for, the little basket thing.
That's actually what I'm going to be working on this week is a mosaic for Meadow. So I'm super
fun.
excited. Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Well, it's not a secret.
There they are, the little,
Yeah.
little
Well,
basket things. Yeah.
Share them. Where did I put
Yeah,
it?
you make me construct something in 3D and I'm kind of sold already. So we'll see. So that's my number 2. On to Andrew's number 1.
All right. My last one is it's going to be a pretty random one, but I was looking at my shelf and it's still there. It's still in the shrink. It's a game called Fate of Phantos, Fantos.
Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah. So this is a game that was originally, I believe, kickstarted by a small company. And then when I worked at Mondo, we acquired it and did an overhaul of the presentation. We didn't change any of the art. I mean, it's one of the reasons why when I worked there, we got the game because we love the art style. It's got this like heavy metal vibe to it. But the original graphic design kind of needs some work. So I worked on a lot of this. I kind of did some development to clean up the presentation, work with our graphic designer. But even through all of that, I've never actually played the game. I know I've played the game. I've lived in it and worked on the cards and the copy and components and everything, and have a copy, but never actually played it. Because it was done, it was finished. It really didn't need to be developed or anything. It just needed a presentation overhaul. So I saw it and I was like, I really should play this game. I worked on it in a capacity, but not in like an actual deving it, designing it, playing it capacity. And it's a gorgeous game. It's kind of political in nature. It's a card-based sort of engine builder. You've got these different characters. that are all these kind of weird. They have these weird factions and roles, and the idea is that Phantos is this like god planet creature that's coming to consume your world, and you have to gather up enough resources to sort of satiate him before he shows up and destroys you all. And then whoever can sort of take the lead in feeding Phantos will win the game. And there's like combat elements and political elements and resource management elements to it, and you kind of choose which of the action paths you want to go down. So there's some card play and some action selection and some resource management, and it's got diplomacy in it as well, so you can negotiate deals with the other players. And then we're all wrapped up with this really, really cool theme, really, really gorgeous art.
Really nice art. Yep.
Yeah, I love that art. That art makes me want to grab it no matter what the gameplay is, but what you described sounds really good too.
So it's hard to find. Like, we made a small print run, and I'm sure it's probably sold out by now. So I don't know. Maybe somebody still stocks it.
I have
You have
one.
a copy?
Mhm.
Yeah, I have a copy.
You still got it in plastic, Mike?
No. I opened it up to look at it. I didn't play it, but I opened it up to look at it.
Fair enough. Oh, that's nice. That's interesting. I want to see that.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, what's your number one? Stop eating popcorn.
I have to eat popcorn. Now I'm addicted. All right. Before I give you my number one.
Oh God, you're gonna shove a bunch in there?
No, I got a few. I'm gonna leave them off.
five.
I'll leave them off for now. But one I almost put on that I've been dying to play, which would have been a little bit of a cheat because it's a re-theme of a game that I have played and never beaten in all the times I've played it. They redid Ghost Story as Last Bastion. Love the art. I had no idea it was a re-theme. Like, the art grabbed me. I turned it over and I'm looking at it and I'm going, wow, this really looks like Ghost Stories. And then it says on the box something about it being like Ghost Stories. But I've been wanting to play it so long. I just feel like it would have been a little bit of a cheat to put in because I've played Ghost Stories so much. So I want to know, like, if it's just a straight redo and if it's as challenging to beat as Ghost Stories, or if like they tweak something or added something or removed something and it feels a little different. But that's been on my list for quite a while.
Has anyone beaten Ghost Stories on this panel?
I have never played it, but I've heard about both games.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've played it maybe 6-7 times. Never beaten it.
Never.
I
You
got
played
close
just the
a few
base,
times.
or did you add any of the expansions?
I don't have any expansions.
No, I
I was
haven't
like, I'm
even
not buying
gotten-
expansions till I beat this thing.
Right. I'm the same way. I'm like, no, I'll beat it and then at least get a feel for like how it plays and how we should play it, and then and maybe the expansions help. I don't know. But yeah, I haven't added any of them into it. It's super fun. It's one of those where like we can do better, let's do it again kind of thing. Never really feel defeated where I never want to get back at it. But it's just super hard.
It's got that one issue for me that because it all balances off of the randomization of the card deck, that there's this thing where you could have a game where it's impossible for you to actually win, but you just don't know it yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like that in games. I want there to always be at least a possibility. So that's one thing that doesn't bring me back to it anymore. But I still want to beat it. It's still like that challenge is there, you know.
Right. Oh, look at that. Let's bring back merchants.
But
Wait,
I
what?
already hit that. Stop it.
What is?
We can't. We're both clicking on it to pull it up.
What is that? Oh yeah. Well, it's I didn't even back the game for like the full game. I backed it at like the $2 or whatever. So my name's in the box, but I don't have a copy.
Oh, my name's in there too. You could find mine on the side.
Yeah, I gotta
Yeah.
find mine. I haven't
I
found
don't.
mine.
I don't. Yeah, I don't have a copy. I wish, but yeah, it was one of those where financially didn't make sense for me. But
Bye,
yeah.
Chris.
actual number one, Michael.
Right. So my actual number
Yeah.
one, I just recently found out that it's super hard to find. But it's. I'll wait.
Chris,
You know,
Pitt,
we're not
What?
going to see it.
What?
It's way too tiny. We're never going to see it.
Oh, that's true. It is pretty tiny. But I cared more about this than what you were talking about, right? So it's
Yeah, that's
no, I'm
usually
kidding.
how it works. I agree. Are they alphabetical at least?
They are by the last name, yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
So you're on the side with me somewhere.
There's no way. My last name and your last name are nowhere near.
No, I was talking about her. I wasn't looking for you.
Also, her name is closer to mine, so why would she be closer to your name?
I don't know.
Why are you making shit up now?
Chris, pay attention. We're still
Okay,
doing the top.
I found my
What's
name in there. Anyway.
What's your top anticipated game?
All right, that's gonna make
I-
B-reel for our next welcome video. Oh, good. Alan's gonna find us.
There you go.
So yeah, my number one I just found out is apparently a Grail game for a lot of people, and it's really hard to find, and I had no idea. But Camp Grizzly.
Oh,
That's hard to find.
I raised my eyebrows to it too, but apparently it's not easy to track down anymore. I love the concept of it. I don't know what that just was. But yeah, I've had it out a few times. I wanted to set it up and play through it. I think I've done a Chris and probably started the rule book and never finished it. But yeah,
no. Let's not start calling that doing a Chris.
yeah, no, that's a thing now. Now that's a thing. It's called doing a Chris. Yeah, so that's my number one. It's been on my list the longest of all the games that I've wanted to get to the table.
Is this character based off of what's his name from Weird Science? What was his name? Bill Paxton.
Oh, I was like, his name was Chet.
Well, yeah, I mean the actor's name was Bill.
Yeah. I was like, the character's name they didn't even change.
Yeah. I don't know who that might be based off of. Oh, maybe they're not all based off of Waldo. I don't know.
Electric Steve. Interesting.
A lot of fun art.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a Mike Mignola style.
Yeah, looks
I have a game that's kind of this kind of horror setup, but it's
and you showed it on the show before.
Final Girl.
Which one?
No,
Final
it wasn't
Girl?
Final Girl. No.
No. I mean, I have a game design that's like that.
Oh, because there's a game that somebody showed before on the show and the layout.
Final
Maybe
Girl.
Friday the 13th or something.
No, it wasn't Final Girl.
I'm just gonna keep saying Final Girl.
Of course you will.
Yep.
Those aren't great minis.
I have it right here.
Anyway, interesting. Yeah, I remember when it came out, but I didn't know that it was highly sought after.
Well, I don't think it was, right? I think it was like what Peter had said. It was a small publisher. They were trying to put this game together. And then I think it hit and people wanted it. And now it's hard to find.
Interesting.
That just means back small publishers.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So I'm also going to have a fake number one. It's that, what did you call it? Expand alone?
Expand alone.
Expand alone. It's the Cartographers, the second one. I forget what it's called. Cartographers.
Cartographers, the second one is hard to look up. Is
Heroes.
it Heroes?
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
What, you mean BGG can't read my mind? What's wrong with that?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to be working on
3.0.
it. But yes, I'm very excited to open it and try the new maps and cards and everything else because I love that game. So very excited to see what they did with it for the second one.
Apparently, the visor on her helmet's so tight it leaves a little impression on her face.
No, it's because she's a badass and got into a fight and has battle scars.
You know, it's interesting. I saw recently, I can't remember what it is, but I saw another female character in armor and stuff, and she had that same scar right there.
I don't know, but
I wonder.
what was funny is when I got the Kickstarter one originally, the box had like a rip in it that matched her scar, and I was like, "Well, that is thematic to like another degree." But yeah,
All right, Mike,
like
you gotta
how-
memorize this
I know.
cover.
So this
I know.
is my like pseudo number one. I'm very excited about it. The other one, I brought it up recently because it was on its way. It's a small game that it just showed up in the list of things that were new or restocked. Again, Board Game Bliss. I'm gonna name them by name. I blame them for a lot of my purchases. But
It's
it's
their
this
fault.
little, it's
You're
this
saying it's
little
their fault?
game
Mhm.
called Cafe. So it's another coffee
Oh.
game for the night.
It's just cafe.
Cafe. And it is about, you're laying cards, like overlapping cards. And I really like that mechanism of overlapping things. I don't know why. I find it satisfying. And I don't know if you're trying to make the best brew or what it is, but I had to have it. I don't know. I saw pictures and I was like, yes, this looks like my kind of game. That's the extent of what I know about it. However, one of our viewers, Stephen Fortenberry, he likes the game so much that he said he wanted to find like little mini coffee cups to use to play it. He says that's how much he has played the game. Like it is that good. So I'm super excited to try it because it is here. And it's super small. Like I like compact games.
Mhm.
It looks fun.
Katia, you should look into that square meal.
Square meal. I
It's
feel like
Philip Dubari. Really small box. It's got the same concept that you just said you like of the overlapping the cards.
Square meal.
You have 3 cards and they have different food on it. And there's a deck of those things on the bottom left. What you need to do with your 3 cards, are double-sided. What you need to do are lay them on top of each other or next to each other, rotate them however you need to make that pattern happen in your 3 cards. And when you do, you score that card.
Mm.
Yeah, I would like that a
And
lot.
it's
Clever. Yeah.
I mean, where is it?
It's just a tiny little box of.
It's like
Square
that game
cards.
Orchard, that solo game Orchard. Have you ever played it? So
Yeah.
good. That over. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I need that.
So here's your button from your Kickstarter.
Yeah.
There's the box.
Oh my
Wow.
god. Are you for real? Like that's teeny tiny.
Yeah, like it's. I mean, it isn't a small. What is it? A 2-inch button? 2
I don't know. It's
Probably
like
3.
2.5 inch
That's,
button.
that's probably a 4x4 box.
That is so small. Oh, it's
I
so
need a
cute.
square egg.
Yeah, 3.5. But yeah, it's really tiny.
Cool.
Well, thank you
Yeah,
for
it's fun.
giving me another game I didn't necessarily need, but now I need.
I actually got that from Board Game Bliss.
Why would you tell me that? Now this is gonna turn into an order of like $10 game that I'm gonna tack on $140 worth.
Yep.
Just
Got to get the free shipping.
Yep. There you go.
Yep, we down to my final one.
Yeah.
So mine is I also got this very recently, but it's one I've been trying to get for a while, and it is an expansion. So it's
Oh, right.
Cyclades Titans.
What about that?
I love Cyclades. I go Cyclades. I love Cyclades. I've always thought it was one of my favorite Bruno Catala designs, and he's one of my favorite designers. I know he's also appreciated by others. But one of. I've heard that the Titans makes it even better, so I'm excited for it. I've already opened it up and looked at all the pieces, of course. but I haven't dug into the rules or anything.
I immediately regret not putting this on my top 5 games I want to play because you talked about this and got me so amped for it that I bought somebody's like the entire all of it without having played it. I was just like, all right, well, Chris loves it, so I need it.
It's good.
I still haven't played
It's
it.
a good game.
Have you not played the base game of Cyclades?
No.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah, I think you'll really like it.
Sounds
I
good.
mean, part of the yeah. I don't want to get into the whole teaching the whole game and everything. I think you'll really like it though.
I believe you.
I don't know what these little pillars do in this expand. I'm going through. I'm like, oh yeah, that pillar. Like I just looked at it briefly and then put it back in the box. So well, I get to be purple though. That's fun.
So in a
is
year from now, when we do our top 5 most games that we want to play, this will still be on it.
No, I hope not.
Mm.
No, I hope not. I try to make so of course I say shelf of opportunity, right? But really what it is a stack of opportunity at this point because I've run out of shelves. But I try to put the ones that I really want to dig into on top of that stack. And so I have to like convince myself to go beyond that stack sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Yeah,
wow,
I actually have shelves coming tomorrow.
that's
I
great.
run out of room.
Nice.
I have some cats that are supposed to get here tomorrow.
This is such an enabler episode.
Yeah. Wait, how are you getting Calyx? I thought Calyx was like gold.
I know. And well, okay, so there are certain sizes you can't get right now.
Yeah.
Like I actually wanted the 2x2 and I couldn't get those. So I have a 2x4 coming tomorrow and a 1x4. So the 1x4 is going to go horizontally right in the middle.
Cool.
I'm going to just start building a castle. And and then the other the 2x4 is going to go in the bedroom, which is where my studio for doing art is. So the copies that don't really get played but get used for components more, they go in there. So
What I didn't know that there was a shortage in Kallax shelves.
yeah,
Is it-
yeah. Apparently, it's like there are some here that you can't get.
Is that just Canada? Is it just ordering? Because I have an
It's probably
IKEA
just
here.
Canada. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I have a physical IKEA here in Houston, so I
Go
don't know if what.
Go check it. I bet you're out of Calyx.
Yeah, I
That's
think they're
scary.
hard to get right now.
It's like that, I think, for a lot of furniture.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for a dining room table from end of November. So
It's like that for a lot of everything.
yeah.
Well,
So,
I've
yeah.
run out of room for Kallax shelves, so unfortunately.
Those are some good lists. We've got some good stuff to play.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like the things that really made me go, ooh, were followed by I don't know if you can get it anymore kind of things.
Yeah.
like your number one. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that artwork looks great. And you're like, I don't know if you can get this. I'm like, great.
I
So
don't know.
there's
I'm
gonna
now
be
curious.
there's gonna be some searching going on after this episode.
I like doing that, right? In one of the last episodes, I was like, Queen's Gambit, you can't get it anywhere, but that's in my top. And Camp Grizzly, you can't get it anywhere.
Wait, did you say Queen's Gambit?
Star Wars Queen's Gambit.
Oh.
Yeah, not the Netflix game, Queen's
Yeah,
Gambit.
because I saw that recently. I
believe
was
they
at
call
our
it
store
chess.
and I'm like, wouldn't that just be chess?
No, this guy. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah. I've almost dug into that a few times at BGG because they have it in their library, but it looks like something I need somebody to teach me to do. So
Yeah, it's a chore, but it's worth it. Like I said, I haven't found a game to beat it for what it represents in that movie on the table is just phenomenal. For me anyway, because I gravitate towards the theme, right? So in my head, that movie's playing out with the Gungans and with Anakin and the Starfighter, and like all of that is happening in my head because it's happening at the same time in the movie when all those fireworks are going off. It's just so cool.
who gets to play Jar Jar?
Not you.
That thematically makes sense too, because you shouldn't be able to control Jar Jar. Nobody could control Jar Jar.
Right, he's a Sith.
He's a force of nature. Yep.
Well, I'll say an agent of chaos.
He's the hero of Naboo, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure he is.
Yeah.
It looks like Beta Mantos is available on Mondo's shop, actually, which probably makes sense because that's not where people would think to look for it. All the other typical board game outlets, but because they probably held a lot of inventory, you might still be able to just get it from Mondo.
Nice. I'm going to
There
keep
you go.
that up over there so I could go get it. So cool. So the oh yeah, thanks. Got a link sent to me. So I know we got a game, MonsDRAWsity, that we're talking about, right?
Yes.
Are you still willing to host that, Mike?
No, Peter.
Oh, you can't unsubscribe. I know where all of your contacts are. You can't get rid of me.
Yes, Michael, you're going to be the one describing the monsters.
Yeah, let's do it. Before we get into it, Chris, I sent you something on Discord. If you can bring that up. We talked a little bit about one of the games in the top 5, Meadow, and how that's going to be. I guess you dropped a little bit of a hint or an Easter egg, but that's going to be your next mosaic. And I wanted to show off the one that you dropped today on social media.
Oh my god!
You got to send me bigger images, Mike.
You're a bigger image.
Good comeback.
So I probably need to get something to draw with, right?
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Dry erase board would work. Pad and paper.
I have some. I just got to go into the other room to grab it. I'll be right back.
Cool.
Yeah, I just want to hire image so you can see all the little pieces.
I know. There's so many of them.
There are a lot.
Yeah. That was more time consuming than I think any of the other ones I've done for like a one piece.
But that floorboard is stellar.
And what's funny is when I started looking at so for the bear, the door, the floor, like the door casing, obviously everything had to be in the brown tones because if I'm not mistaken, the card or like the comic is in the 1940s.
Correct.
Right. So it's not, I wasn't going to do a white door because back then it was wood and people didn't paint their doors white. This is a newer thing. So it's like I had to try and go for wood tones and I didn't want everything to look brown. And so I thought, okay, well, I could probably make the floor like a grayish brown to make it stand out a little bit. And it's not a color I have a lot of. And so there's actually like strips, like cardboard strips from, I think it's one of Daryl's game, like a walled city or something.
Oh yeah, with Steven. Yeah, Walled City.
Yeah. So those are the strips. There's wood from Raccoon Tycoon in there. There's some bulls from I think it's End of Trail by Elf Creek Games. There's like all kinds of pieces that by themselves might not be like the exact color I was aiming for, but all together kind of like give it that sort of wooden look. And then trying to at the end put that little string. Jeez, man. Because I have to go over top of 3D pieces. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, now I'm onto cardboard. So the elevation is different. Like just making that string alone took me probably like 25 minutes. Ridiculous.
It's just glue, right? You just glue it all together.
Yeah. Somebody, yeah, we went with a different perspective. So from the back, I figured because I don't like to just replicate covers. And so I had that vision in my mind of coming from behind and as they like go into the closet. And then I just did a sketch and then Charles helped me fix it so that it was more representative of the proportions of Max the bear. So yeah, so that's how it came out. So,
Very nice.
So neat. It's so neat.
Yeah. Yeah, very happy with it.
Would you say you're very happy with it?
No. Just no.
Wait a minute. I know how to answer that.
I actually need a pen. Hold on. I don't have it.
I was like,
I guess I need to get it too.
I don't have a Pocahontas for that.
Okay, hold on.
I'm trying to find my MonsDRAWsity. Everything's been rearranged.
You can just do dry erase.
Well, that's yeah. That's true. I could. Ah, it's right behind me.
There we
If it
go.
had been a snake, would have been me. Don't Pocahontas me.
Evan, how are you?
Hey, Evan.
Yep. See, there you go.
I don't get him started.
All right.
That's it. Let the bear puns fly.
Oh, and we're doing robots.
Yes.
So-
So for those that don't know about MonsDRAWsity, we played a little different than the rules. I need a timer, don't I? Shit. All right. So basically, I will have 1 minute to flip over a card and describe it to the three of them. As I describe it, stellarly, I might add. They will draw what I'm describing, and they will look something like this at the end. This will be revealed. They will reveal their poor attempts at drawing what I probably poorly will describe, and then we'll give points based on however the hell I feel. Really. If you're in the comment or in the chat and you want to participate, you should be able to drop the drawings into the Discord.
Or share them. Yeah, like take a picture and share it in Discord.
Yeah, and then Chris can also share that as well.
Yeah, in the episode chat.
Yep. Feel free. If you want to help judge which ones are better than others subjectively, feel free. But we'll play, what did we say, 10?
I don't think we said 10 sounds good though.
Remember?
What did we do last time? I thought we did 10.
10, draw 10? That's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot.
Like seven or eight? Seven,
Yes,
maybe?
let's do 7.
7?
7 it is. That way we can't tie. Somebody's going to pull ahead, right?
You don't know how I'm giving out points.
And whichever way makes it
Oh,
so I
that'd
don't.
be difficult.
We will have a tie. No, we won't have a tie. They'll be normal points. I'll probably do 3, 2, 1. So that way everybody's getting at least 1 point.
My head doesn't look like it's on right. Hold on.
It
It doesn't look right, does it? Hold on. What am I doing? What's wrong? Something's wrong here. Here we go. Nope,
There you
that's
go.
all. I don't know what's going on.
Is that better? You're usually over there on the camera.
It looks
so.
like it's disconnected, right?
God. Oh,
Weird
All right,
angle.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's
We're going
do
to do
this.
Chris. We're going to do
There we go.
Katia. We're going to do Andrew. 1, 2, 3. And we'll get the points. All right.
Was there a cat? Oh, there's a cat behind you.
I think Michael just froze.
Oh, excellent.
he did.
Let's draw him right real quick while he's. Perfect timing. Yeah, I'm gonna
I wonder
draw
if he
him.
knows
right.
he's frozen. He's probably sitting there describing
I
stuff.
was just
and-
going to say, let's just all draw him. Yep.
Oh,
Oh my God. He's going to come back. He's going to be like, yep.
Oh, he went away.
No.
oh.
All right,
I have to
do it
remember
from
what he
memory.
looks like. So he's
I have
got,
to do
you
it
guys,
from memory.
yeah, he's got a backwards ball cap and a beard, wearing a hockey jersey.
Yeah, I don't know what was on the jersey.
No,
Red, white, and blue, I think.
Recognize the team, but
All right. I've got to put a whole bunch of plastic crap behind them.
Hey, my calendar's behind him.
And good stuff. Lots of good stuff behind them. Your calendar's behind me too. Or is it in frame? Where is it? Oh, no, it's over there. But it is over there. All right. I don't remember what was on the front, but here's mine.
That's really good.
That's pretty good.
I don't like my
I'm
chances
not
this
done, but
game.
this is where I was at.
Oh, no. Oh, I forgot about the little thing at the end of the pin.
And I put the calendar in there.
That's great. See, it doesn't matter about how good you do it. It's the details, right? That's
It is the details.
there. I'll put the little guy on there. There we go.
Now I want to see. He's probably got his baby Yoda somewhere on the right.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, so we'll put the little baby Yoda. Doo-doo-doo. I know he also has a good, a new one. He showed me before the episode. He had Luke holding a spoiler.
Oh.
So I won't say it, but I'll draw it. I'll put it in there. Doo-doo-doo. He also had fuzzy dice, Han Solo's fuzzy dice. Oh, there he is. Upset face. While you were gone, we drew your Frozen picture.
Oh, perfect. That's great. That's
Got
great.
your little Yodas in there. Your dice.
Oh, wow. That's kind of cool.
She's got your calendar.
Oh, neat. And my pen was frozen in screen too. That's awesome.
No.
No, I think they added that.
That's good. I don't know if any of you
the
have.
pen was in the forefront, and the pink thing.
Oh, okay.
The replay, you'll see the pen was there. Yeah, that guy.
Oh, I don't have the little thumbs up on the pen. Here we go.
No, me
It's in
neither.
the
But,
detail.
but we
Yeah.
thought we would,
Yep.
we would
It's in
get a
the
head
detail.
start. That's really good.
Yeah, that one came out really well. I mean, I don't have anything to base it on, but I can imagine.
And now it won't erase.
Oh,
You press
everybody-
really hard.
See, we had fun while you were gone.
Yeah, I expect that, honestly.
Took advantage.
Yeah.
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 You held still for us, so that's what happens.
I don't know if anybody has Spectrum as their internet provider, but they suck. So
Never
if
even
anybody's
heard of them.
watching from Spectrum, your internet service sucks.
Are they local?
I thought they
No.
were, but I think they're everywhere now, or they
Oh.
were. I just perceived them as being local because of Syracuse, but they suck.
They're everywhere. I'm
Oh, okay, we must not have them down here. I haven't
familiar
heard
with
of them.
them.
You're not missing anything.
I mean, I have Comcast, and Comcast sucks too. So
Yeah,
Only
but
mobile.
they're not that good either.
Yeah.
all right, so
All right, what we got?
You ready?
Yeah.
We're ready.
Any questions?
Nope.
yeah, can you
Yeah,
start
what
off
does this
with
thing look like?
Yeah, right. Hopefully I don't get cut out or my internet craps the bed again, but
I'm just gonna draw you again if you do.
here's to hoping. All right, and 3, 2, 1, go. All right, 2 computers on a desk. The desk is full of moss. There's roots coming out to the bottom. It's like an old school kind of like AV club desk with like the rolly wheels on the bottom and 3 legs. There's a keyboard underneath where you would think a keyboard would sit on like the lower shelf. There's definitely a Game Boy Color in the background of that shelf. There's some moss on the left computer's upper left head with 1 flower coming out of it. That computer is sad. It's got a face, like 2 eyes and a frowny face. And it has a tear coming off its the left side of the card, but its right eye. The right computer has a loading screen, loading from right to left. If you would think like a battery charge is loading. And that's time.
That is ridiculous. That didn't make any sense.
Okay.
Yeah,
And the creature. Now,
The
I have a
Game Boy
question
card.
for
I was
you.
like, "What the hell are you
Can you-
talking about, man?"
And maybe I missed this when you were describing how you play. Were you looking at it the whole time?
Yep.
Oh, just to make it go faster? Because I think it was like
Yeah.
look at it, memorize it, and then put it away.
Yeah, that would be impossible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, we play a little different.
Okay.
We give ourselves a minute to look at it and describe it, and then you guys have that minute to draw.
Okay.
And what's with the three-legged table? What the hell?
You'll see. I mean, it's all here. It'll all make sense.
Well,
No.
why don't you show us what we should have drawn?
Well,
Yeah.
before we,
No. I'm supposed to do it the other way around.
Oh, you want to do the other way?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Remember, this is the robot one. So instead of them being monsters and drooly creatures and whatever, these are robots. Like
That's
some
what
sort of-
really threw me off at first because you were like, "There's two computers." I was like, "Huh?" I totally forgot it was robots.
All right, so Chris, what do you got?
Me first.
Yeah. Oh, this is where I got to do my thing now, right? I gotta.
Here, I can.
Yeah, I'll get you. I'll control it. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. Sad face on the left, flower coming off it. Yep, 2 computers on the desk.
Wow, your mouse looks really good.
I specifically did say 3 rolly wheels. You have 4, but that's okay.
Oh, I missed the rolly wheels.
Yeah. All right. Andrew, 2 computers on the desk, flower coming off its head, sad face. Sure. Moss on the table. Yeah.
That's good.
All right. Katia.
Yeah, the rolly wheels and
mine's
stuff.
not very good because I felt like your description was not so good.
My description was not so good. Interesting.
Oh, crap! I started erasing, but you might want to see it again.
I might want to see it again. Yes.
My bad.
Yeah. Good job. All right. Hold yours up.
Mhm.
Actually, by erasing it, I think you did a better job.
Can we see what it was supposed to be now?
Yeah. So here's the real one.
Ah,
Oh my
Ah.
god. Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
You see the Game Boy sitting there in the back of the control?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. You need to maybe include proportions.
Do you want to do it?
Not bad.
You can do it. You have this deck. You can do it.
is that a computer desk or like a computer chair? I guess it's one of those swivel desks, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would, because it's got the shelf for the, like, you can see where the keyboard
Yeah.
is kind of tucked away,
Yeah.
and then the 3 rolly things.
Because when you talked about the Game Boy, you should see how big I was gonna make it. And then I'm like, there's no fucking way. And I erased it.
Yeah, tucked away behind the keyboard. Like it's,
Yeah.
All right. So who won?
All right, I'm giving Chris 3, Andrew 2, Katia 1.
Yep.
I'll take that.
I do want to point out that was a full minute of description. There was no hemming and hawing in the beginning about
Okay.
beef.
Okay.
Just saying.
That was a straightforward one. When you start having pictures that the items don't have names,
Sure.
you wouldn't.
Okay.
Okay.
Hopefully there's multiple ones in this deck of 6 that I have to go through. Ready?
Oh, I hope so.
Oh, I hope so too.
Let's do it.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so this, I mean, it's like an apple. It's got a face to think like truck headlight or tail lights with like a grate over it. One of those old school car metal bumpers as its mouth. Sitting inside of it, because it's kind of split down the middle. I use the shape of an apple because I see an apple, but sitting inside of it looks like some sort of lava lamp alien.
Inside what?
Like in between the 2 headlights, the thing is kind of split open. If you think about it, like, okay, it looks like some sort of lava lamp. It's got 2 eyes in what would be the blob in it, and 1 antenna coming out of the top. Its legs are like, think hamster tubes that the hamsters would run through, that go down to the ground. It's got 2 going down to the front. Wow, that was a minute. That was bad.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah, I didn't even get to its ass and its back feet. So yeah, this is a good one.
Oh man.
Wow.
Oh,
I
this
need
is
a bigger
bad.
card. I gotta start drawing smaller.
I think we need to start having a warning for nightmares, because this is like borderline nightmare inducing here.
This thing's horrific.
Oh my
I mean,
god.
it's cool. It's cool as shit, but it's pretty bad. All right.
There's Katia's.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I mean it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's pretty close to mine too. Yeah.
It's basically what I described. If you take its back off that I didn't describe at all, I mean it's not horrible. All right, Chris, you're up.
Aw.
Okay. I can see it. I don't see a lava lamp. I see this weird thing, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever
lava
that
lamp.
is.
yeah, yep. With the
I
two
couldn't
eyes,
remember
the
the shape of
eyes,
the lava lamp.
the antenna coming off it. I can see it. Good stuff. All right, Andrew.
This is. I got confused when you said Apple. Like I was thinking Apple computer, not shape of an apple.
Oh,
and-
yeah, yep.
And then I'm like, what? And then you said a grill, like a car.
Yeah.
It lost its way.
Yeah,
But
I skipped the Apple thing completely, and then later on he said it again, so I came back to it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
no, you needed to get to the back of it, and
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't feel so bad now.
So
Yeah.
it's not so bad after all.
No, like I'm gonna grade you guys on this not being there. Like if you look at the front of this, let me get it away from my name. If you look at what I actually did describe, like you did well. I'm gonna say
I think Katia's mouth is more like what you got there.
this is tricky. Yeah, I think it's gonna go Katia 3, Chris 2, Andrew 1.
All right.
My final answer.
Fine.
Man, that was tricky. That was brutal.
If you hadn't hemmed and hawed at the beginning there,
I misstepped out of the gate, but that was rough.
Are most of these horizontal or vertical? So I should know which way to orient.
Oh, it does. They're random.
yeah, I
Okay.
know that messed with me too because the last one was this way, and then So,
Yeah, I can give you that as a thing, like telling
Sure.
you which way. Okay.
That would be helpful for
yeah,
me.
landscape or portrait. to
Okay.
start off
Or
with.
I need a bigger palette.
Sure. All right, ready?
Sure.
Hold on. All right, go ahead.
3, 2, 1, go. All right, definitely portrait. There's 3 potted plants, like clay potted plants that are grouped together. It's on the left side, its right leg is just a spade shovel. Its left leg, it has a something going into what would be like a yellow, like a rain boot, like one of those Gore-Tex rain boots. Coming out its right arm is a bee's nest. Off an arm, off like a ledge, like a stick, there's a bee's nest. Coming off the left is like a trowel, like a cement trowel. There's a smaller pot on the bottom, and then the 2 bigger ones that are grouped. In the one on the right, there's one of those forks, those I don't know what they're called, rakes, that has 2 eyes. So it's a 3-pronged fork with 2 eyes. There's a watering can watering the right pot, and then there's leaves coming out of them. The left one looks more like a cactus, but there's leaves coming out of them. And that's a minute.
Wow, I got lost in the middle there somewhere.
Me too. I'm missing like a leg and a body.
I
and-
don't understand where the cement mixer went.
The
No, it's a
trowel.
cement
Cement
mixer.
trowel. Like a
the
pointed trowel.
trowel.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, I just heard the cement mixer. Like I thought the big like barrel thing that, like the truck.
No, the trowel.
I missed that word. That would have been. That makes
It'll
more
be
sense.
fun. It'll be fun to see what you did.
Was,
So why don't we start with yours?
I think aside from that, I think I probably got most of it.
Okay. You think so?
Maybe not.
Yeah.
when you
So
said it's left, it's right. You're talking about it, not from what we're looking at, right?
correct. Its right is left of the image.
Okay.
So show it again.
Oh,
It's okay. Show it again.
Yeah,
So
I don't think
you're
that's a big deal. I was
learning?
just
Okay. The bee's nest, the watering can. I don't see the leaves coming out of it, but
no, I didn't have time.
Leaves?
okay. Yeah, there were leaves, and one was kind of looked more like a cactus, but it had leaves coming out of it.
I have a conglomeration of parts that I don't know if it
Yeah.
quite came together.
Yeah,
kinda-
the fork with the eyes, the spade leg, and the boot leg. I can see it.
The beehive.
Yeah.
and
Oh
the-
yeah, it's its arm. Yep. Okay. All
I was
right.
confused about the 3 pots. You started with 3 pots. Yeah. Same
Yeah,
way.
I
I'm
didn't.
like,
I didn't really say that they were kind of grouped together until later on, and it was all shot. Yeah, you got the spade on the right side. You got the boot on the left. The bee's nest is in the wrong location. Where's
Yeah,
the
it's on the-
watering can? Is that a watering can?
No, I didn't even hear a watering can. And just like Andrew, I had all these floating bits. I just put a bush in the middle to tie it together.
Actually, it might actually help you.
All right, what do you got? What the? Oh my
What
god!
in the-
Oh, well, my structure's pretty close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your structure is definitely closer.
You definitely got it on structure.
Yeah, but 3 pots were lined up, and
Yeah.
I didn't hear about any leaves.
Yeah, it's tough between Katia's structure and Chris's overall. Got the leaves. He even got the one cactus thing there too.
Yeah, I missed the watering can though.
Yeah, and Katia has the watering can, but no leaves.
And Andrew's got the watering can.
I got a watering can, the beehive.
Yeah.
They all got good
I
parts.
totally forgot what a beehive looked like, so I just put X's on it at first.
Yeah.
And then whenever I saw Katia's beehive with the lines, I was like, oh, yeah, you put the lines.
Yeah, that's what a
I've
beehive
never
is.
actually seen a beehive in real life.
Man, that's a tricky one.
Mm.
I think, wow, that's a tricky one. If I have to go 3, 2, 1, I think I'm going Chris, Katia, and Andrew.
Dang it.
Really?
All right.
Yeah, well, I mean, the eyes are on the top of the fork instead of the bottom.
But did you
Fair,
say that?
fair.
I don't even think
You
you said
didn't.
that. You said
You
it had
didn't.
2 eyes.
On the top of the fork or eye. I thought I did. I don't know what
I don't
said.
know if you did or not. I just thought, yeah, that's where I'd stick eyes. Just
Sure.
into the fork.
Katia's looked like it had an eyebrow, which was kind of cool.
That's rough. That does not look like a robot.
No, I don't know how that's robot-esque, but
Hmm.
right, isn't the whole concept of it robots?
Yeah, it's
it's
supposed to be.
Robots.
That just looks like somebody's little garden came to life.
Yep, which is equally horrifying.
Told you it's nightmare inducing.
Oh, why can't I block that person? Oh, boo, an error occurred.
No, it says they
One
were
of them's
blocked.
already blocked.
You got
Oh,
it.
it's showing me an error occurred.
Oh, because I had already blocked them.
And it's not showing it blocked on mine. Okay. All right, cool. We'll go on to card number 4.
We're so famous now, we've got people to block.
I know, I love it.
They're just bots. But
Yeah.
hey.
All right, ready?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
No, you can't do that. I hit the timer and then you went,
Well, then don't ask the question if you're not waiting for an answer. Schooled.
3, 2, 1, go. All right,
All right.
this is like a ghost almost. It's got, all right, it's not necessarily a ghost, so don't start writing a sheet. It's got a dress. The dress has flowers on it. It looks like the front end of slippers all along the bottom, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 slipper fronts. Like, I don't know what those are. They're too tiny to look at. It's hovering over what is a globe, like the world, a planet, a small planet underneath it. The chest of this creature is a chalkboard. This is also portrait, not landscape. The chalkboard has 1 + 1 = 2, 2 + 2 = 4, a bunch of A, B stuff on it. Robot arms, one coming out to the right bent with 3 fingers, one coming out to the left straight down. And then think of like a robot head, looks like Cortana from Halo.
I don't know who that is, damn it.
Yeah.
You
What?
Make
can't do
robot head.
references like that.
Describe more.
I
Yeah.
can't. That was a minute.
Oh, jeez.
That's why I threw it out there as quickly as I could. So it's got a robot head.
All right.
Yeah, there's no head. I don't know who the fuck Cortana is or Gordana or whatever her name is.
Oh, you should know who Cortana is.
You can't do that in this game though. You can't do it's like so and so from a
When
movie.
But when I looked and I saw there were 3 seconds, that's what came out.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would have just stuttered and you wouldn't have had anything to go with.
There is no head.
Are we doing yours first? Okay.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
Andrew, you're supposed to stop drawing.
Oh,
When he says time, it's done.
Ooh.
All right, flower dress over a globe, chalkboard body, 1 + 1 = 2. Yep, 3 fingers coming off the one side, the other one straight down. It's just missing a head, but that's pretty. I mean, I guess those are slipper feet on the bottom. That's good.
Wow.
All right.
Mine's really close to hers.
yeah.
I like the question mark. That's well done. They look like lollipops on the dress, not flowers. I see what you did with the slippers. You got the 1 + 1. Good, good, good. All right.
Oh, got a head in there.
Globe, flowers on the dress. 1 + 1, 2 + 2. There is a head. It looks like Max Headroom a little bit.
You said like a robot head,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
Cortana.
I like it. I like
That's a
it. You're the only one with a head,
That's
so I'll give you that
creepy
one.
thing.
All right, so there's what you look like.
Okay.
How did you not start with the head? You started with the dress?
I was going bottom up.
Mm.
Don't do that.
Interesting.
Oh, did you say the arm was going up? I didn't hear that part.
One going up with 3, one going straight down.
Mm.
Does she have like an apple floating there?
I don't know, but look at the whatever that is. Are they like pouches?
Bananas? That's like food in there.
Yeah.
I
Like
just
how-
Pouches.
I saw slipper fronts, so
Looks
I
like
don't
there's
know
like
what those are. I don't
a
know.
banana
fronts.
and some gum.
It is an apple. Oh yeah, because she's a teacher, right? I mean that makes sense. Are those crayons? Those look like crayons.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so there's the thing.
Yep, we're not the only ones complaining. Peter's trying to draw too.
No, I know, and I started with the dress, and there was a globe on the bottom. I get it.
Yep, bottom up, but not the globe. Yeah.
Get it. No, show yours again. Show yours again.
Oh,
They're all pretty
they're all
close.
very similar. Yeah.
Very similar. I think Chris tried to pay more attention to the what I said were slippers on the bottom. But Andrew has a head.
Yeah, but I did draw a little longer, so you can
Yeah.
dock me for.
For like 30 seconds.
I was just putting little accent marks in the flowers. That's all.
Yeah,
The head was
I
already there.
flowers, like you said, Chris's look like lollipops.
This is true.
That's true.
Oh, this is tough. That's a tough one. I'm trying to stick to the 3, 2, 1. I really am.
Does he have like the ABs and stuff on his screen?
The 1, 2, the 1 + 1, the 2 + 2.
Oh, I
Yeah.
don't have any ABCs.
Yeah, but you have a head, Andrew.
Yeah, but again, like he said, he continued to draw when we were done.
I know you're selling it really well, but I don't know. I like Chris's slipper.
He's a
idea.
guest. Give him the benefit of the doubt.
All right,
The head was there.
I'm going 3 Andrew, 2 Katia, 1 Chris.
Ooh.
They were so close. I can't argue with any of that.
They were, and I think that they both got flowers. You had lollipops, but I do appreciate your attention to the slippers, whatever the hell I was calling slippers on the bottom. That was nice.
I mean, they're not lollipops, but
They look like lollipops. All right, 3 more cards.
Okay.
Oh God! All right, you ready? I'll wait.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll wait for Chris to be official. Oh, don't go to sleep, phone. Okay. Good?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. All right, landscape. Think bat. It's got bat wings, so there you go. It almost has a body of a bumblebee, but the body's a rocket. Like think of a big plump rocket with those stripes that a bumblebee would have. Its stinger or its tail would actually be like the end of a rocket, those like panels that make up the rocket. That's on the bottom of it, right? So it's facing towards its head. It's got 2, think like praying mantis hands, like the claws that are in the front. Its head I can hardly describe. I don't even know what the shit it is. It's like it looks like a bicycle seat as a head, and it's attached to the wings from its head, not from its back. That'll throw you off. And that's a minute.
Kidding me?
All
You didn't
right,
describe
let's see
anything
if I'm
on the
not
head.
drawing anymore.
What was the thing about the praying mantis? Because I feel like that didn't have anything to do.
Like it's got those praying mantis claws or those hands or whatever. Those
What does that even look like?
You'll see in a second what they look like.
I just gave it fingers.
All right, that might be it for you.
Yep.
What? So this time you didn't start at the bottom. You started on the sides and worked your way in, and went down and back up.
And then the last thing I told you was that its head's connected to its wings, not its back. Yeah. Yep.
You didn't describe the head at all. Eyes, face, nothing.
No, you just had a bicycle seat.
Yeah, I don't even know what it is. Like,
okay. All right,
I
let's
don't
see.
even know how to describe it. All right, so Andrew, what do you got? Yeah, it's pretty good. That's definitely a bicycle seat. Looks like it's dropping a deuce while it's flying. That's good.
That's the rocket, like the flames coming out of the rocket.
I like it. I like it. Well done. Well done.
Yeah, I messed up on the bat wings too. They don't look like bat wings. Now look at it.
Yeah, those are creepy.
Yeah. I told you, people are gonna get nightmares from my drawings.
Those are creepy, yeah. All right. That is your entry. Oh, that's pretty good too.
Yeah, I'm at the bottom here.
That one's pretty good, but it doesn't have the panels on the bottom like a rocket would have.
I had no idea what you meant by panels.
All right, all right.
Nothing about the
fans,
three little
like
plate
the-
parts.
What is it supposed to look like?
Those, I see.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
okay.
these. Like these.
Yeah, no, I see them. I know you have them, and Chris doesn't.
I see.
And I don't know what kind of bicycle you ride, but
I did it from the side.
sure, yeah. So yeah, that's its head. What the frig?
I don't know. Triangle, 3 eyes.
Right. I mean, are they eyes? I don't even know what that is. I just see a bicycle seat, and then I told you guys the wings were attached to its head. So
Yeah, that was a little too late.
that was late. Yeah, I know.
I'll take my one, thanks.
Oh, do you see the praying mantis?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Andrew and I both did the arms that just lurch like that.
Yeah. I mean, you only have so much time to
Right.
get that much detail in.
Yeah, I'll just take the one. I
Yeah,
understand.
Andrew, I think you got the 3 on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
can
think
see
so. I
that.
feel good about this one.
Yeah.
Chris, you're getting the 2. Katia, you got the 1.
Yeah. Drawing is not my medium. Okay, I need my time. I need to plan things.
Sure. You can just cheat like Andrew.
I don't do well at this game.
I only did that once,
Keep drawing after time goes. You'll be fine.
and I think I didn't even get points for that round, or a lot of points.
You either got 3 or 1.
I think I got 1 for the round when I went long, so it didn't help me.
But again, you had a head on your robot. They did not.
But
That's because you went long.
Ooh. Don't go past the clock around Katia.
Yeah, don't do it. She'll call you out on it. All right, ready?
I'm not anymore.
I like
Yeah,
that
ready.
you called out the landscape. That helped.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I got Peter's here.
Oh, sick.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Let me pull this up.
So was this was for the bat one?
Yeah.
So this is what it looked like.
Aw,
It's
that
got
is
a
a
fat rocket.
That's a pretty good bicycle seat too. More like a booster seat, but it works.
He did it from the side like I did.
Yeah, like you did.
That's funny.
Good job, Peter.
Great.
All right, 2 more. No negative points. All right, 3, 2, 1, ready? Chris, are we ready?
Yes.
Perfect, go. All right, landscape again. I don't even know how to describe this one. It's all right, I'm going to start from there's a 1 wheel, so it's almost like think of like the front of the 1 wheel of a wheelbarrow. It's attached to a body that has a neck that you can attribute to a vacuum. its head is split. Half of it is the inner of a robot. Think C-3PO without his armor, without the outside of C-3PO, like the inner workings with the wires and stuff. The other half of it looks like, I can't use that reference because you probably don't know them. It's just got a face. Looks like almost Thanos. It's got an eye, a mouth, whatever. Its arms, there's two of them. One is on the back side of it. You can't really see it too well, but it comes to two claws, two long claws. And the one coming close is the same thing with two claws just pointing to the ground. That's a minute.
Hey, you're still drawing.
This is so. I was picking up my board.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Okay,
I feel
you
like
started with the wheel and then went to the neck.
But it
We need to
went
know what's in the middle.
like attached to a vacuum
even know.
in the neck.
Okay.
All right. You'll see.
Again, I'm gonna give a nightmare warning here for when
Sure.
it gets this. It's not pretty.
Sure. So you actually split the face. Like you split the head. I get
I
it.
mean, you said it was like two heads.
It was split. It was split. Like the head itself is split.
You didn't say that. You didn't say one head, two different faces. You
No,
said
I didn't.
two heads.
I
Your
didn't, 'cause I'm-
wheelbarrow wheel is really good, though.
Damn.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't even think about. I'm doing everything from like front face, so I never think of like twisting a 3D. That was
Yeah,
good.
I see what you did with the claws there. Those are not correct, but I see what you were doing.
They are claws.
They are,
Oh,
I
wait.
guess.
I
got
think
Peter's-
this is-
right.
I got Peter's.
don't even. I ran out of time with the claws, and there's just a jumble of stuff that's like C-3PO's guts in the middle there.
Yeah, totally. The neck
And I
with
mean,
the,
there's something
with
about
the
a
face.
vacuum cleaner tube.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's some. I
There's
don't
parts-
even know.
There's definitely parts. It'll all make sense when you see what I had to work with.
Okay.
All
I
right,
got
what do you
Peter's
got?
too, by the way. Ooh.
So there's your split head. I like it.
Yeah. that's a good head.
I don't know about the claws, but you definitely get points for the split head.
I have Peter's on here, and I gotta say, it kind of looks like a Picasso,
Okay.
in a good
This
way.
is the
Like, I
one
like
where
it.
that we're the most different.
Yeah, totally. Wow.
Whoa.
Doesn't that look kind of like a Picasso,
Yeah.
like a actual?
Mhm,
I
mhm.
like it.
That's
I kind of want it
Except
on
for
my
the-
wall.
except for the vacuum neck. The split head, the claws are good. The one wheel, that's pretty good, Peter.
Mm.
So what
right.
is it we were aiming for?
What did this thing look like?
Oh
Wow.
wow.
Whew.
Okay.
Okay.
So the
You should've-
vacuum was a lot longer than what I thought.
You see the
Yeah,
vacuum?
Andrew had the vacuum thing
Yeah.
correct. Like,
But
I thought-
I
yeah,
didn't know how it attached to the body and the wheel and the.
yeah.
Yeah, same.
I tried to do like an old timey fashion
Yeah, you have the
vacuum
body
handle.
figured out.
Yeah, I didn't understand what you were saying there.
Where is the C-3PO stuff?
The head.
On the right
Oh.
side.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
This is.
It's all over the place here.
Oh yeah, I like that there's spokes in your wheels too. Oh god, this is horrific.
Katia's
Ooh.
reminds me of something you'd see like wasn't there like a Toy Story where they had like the old burnt toys and stuff under the
Mhm.
bed or something?
All Sid's toys. Oh man, this is tough.
Thanos, where'd you get Thanos off of that?
I mean, look at the colors of the damn thing. It
It's
looks
just
Yeah,
like
but
purple.
you don't see colors.
I
like we don't
know, but it looks like I don't know. I was gonna say Nova. It looks more like Nova, but I thought that was too obscure.
You mean Nebula?
Mm.
Nova with the
No, it's like a Nova helmet.
Oh,
Thank you,
Yeah.
Andrew.
I
That might have
would
just boosted you to 2.
Hey.
No. I won't do that. I want to.
Oh, so you're saying I got one.
A little
I don't know.
bit.
You got the correct neck. I guess both you and Katia do.
Yeah, but
And the split face though.
And one helmet. I mean, one head.
Yeah. But your wheel is better. Yours has
Mhm.
claws. All right. 3 for Katia, 2 for Chris, 1 for Andrew.
That's fair. I don't really have an actual thing as much as a conglomeration of parts.
What would you give Peter?
Peter would have taken that one, I think.
1 million.
He had the split face. He had the claws, like not like a lobster claw. It was more like
Like nails, like long.
I guess.
Yeah, I like the design of them.
Yeah. All right, last one. Oof.
Mhm.
My
Yes.
phone wants to say fine.
Promises.
I think I got to give myself this at this point.
I told you it'd get hard. The robots one, it gets tricky.
Yeah, I think the robot one might actually be harder than a monsters.
I
Because
came up with vacuum. My
It's just
idea of this
pieces
was
all
a
over the
vacuum.
place. Yeah.
Very tricky.
At least with an organic, you can usually count on a head or body or something to
Yeah.
kind of
Mhm.
usually.
Usually.
Yeah.
All right, Chris,
All right.
are you ready?
Yeah, I don't know why you're singling me out.
Yeah, I don't know why either. Everyone good?
Mhm.
All right,
Let's do
3,
it.
2, 1, go. What the shit? So I don't even know how to start on this one. It's got this.
Gotta go something.
It's like a Mega Man monster. It's got a platform in the center. Looks almost like
What?
Bullet Bob facing down, like a big bullet facing down. This is portrait, by the way. It's got 2 wiggly arms coming out that look like they have almost saw blades on the end of them. They're not, but that's what I'm going to give you. Moving up from it's got two eyes and then this mouth that looks like a wheel, but you're looking at it straight on, not from the side. Moving up from there, there's one post with 2 levels. They get smaller as they go up. The first one above its head on this stake has spikes going around it. The next one that's smaller has electricity with these like claws, bear claws coming off them. Like the electricity is the arm and then the bear claws. And then its face, I don't know, it's a round thing with 2 eyes and a nose and a mouth. And that's a minute. This is awful. This is awful. This is so bad. I couldn't explain this to you drunk. This is so bad.
Cats and dogs living together.
Oh my god.
I don't even know where I could have gotten better in that one. I lost it in the front. The main part of it with the wheel, with the arms and the blades, I couldn't get my head around how to even describe what would be the body. And then coming up from there was okay, but starting
You
at the
described
face-
2 different faces.
it's got 2
Yeah.
different faces.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
All right.
I only have
All right.
one. 'Cause I was like, no, I already got the face.
But wait, there's another face.
I put 2 faces, but I don't understand.
I put
Yeah,
the bear
yeah.
claw.
Yeah, Peter, I'm asking myself the same thing.
Oh,
I have no clue.
can't wait to see
All right.
Peter.
Oh god.
Let's see it.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
So those were like the saw blades, and then
Sure,
and then
yeah.
you have like
Yeah.
the bullet upside
Yeah.
down, like you said, and the levels, one with spike, and then the other one with electricity and the bear claw coming off it.
sure, yeah. It's only got the one face. It doesn't have the second face, but I
No,
see it.
didn't know it was a second face. You just said face. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
All right. So,
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
I mean, you said it was the bullet, right? And then
I did
you
not
said it
get a
wasn't
bullet at
quite.
all.
You said it wasn't quite the thing, so I just did fuzzy thing. There's your other face, lightning with bear claws. Did you mean the donuts? I don't know. So I put that, and then there's a spiky platform, another their eyeballs and a wheel. You
Yeah.
like spokes on wheels, so I put spokes.
I didn't say I like spokes on wheels, but I like where you're going with it. Yeah, I think this last card, this should be the title of this last card.
Yes.
Oh my
I've,
god.
I've got Peter's too after we see.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
I don't even. I never got a bullet. You said you started with the platform, so I just put a platform in the middle.
I was so lost with this one. I don't blame any of you for it. You could have drawn a stick figure, and I'd probably give you points.
And I heard some saw blades.
I like the electricity up on the top. Yep, something like the saw
Yeah.
blades. I mean, you'll see it. All right,
Uh,
what's
Show it
Peter's?
to us.
It's so
I
bad.
think he left a comment at the bottom of his here as to what he thought of your description.
Oh yeah, the hot pile of steam. It's a hot pile of shit. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's great.
No, I like the head on the top. I mean, I don't know what else. I think is he trying to give me the middle finger on the left there? Yeah,
No
good
bullet,
luck.
though.
Pile
Where's
of
the
shit
bullet?
is the best
All right,
part.
show us this thing.
Yeah, show us what's up. Oh, that's not that
Oh,
hard.
wow. Okay. No.
It's not that hard. Okay.
Oh, those
I
are
didn't even know how to
good.
like. I wanted to go from bottom to top, but how do I even start with that thing? Like, what the?
So at least I got the orientation of like the tire mouth.
Yeah,
face,
Yes, looking at it and not from the side.
Almost
Yeah,
reminds
yeah, you
me-
did.
It
And then the
almost
stuff
reminds me. So
going
I'm
up.
missing the
I just
rod.
didn't get the bullet part.
you see the bear claws and the electricity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's like a cake. It's like a cake stand almost.
Yeah,
And like a
that's-
spiked. I see like the spiked collar thing.
Yeah. Yep. Chris has the spike collar, and Katia is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I didn't realize that the face was the body.
Yeah, I didn't either.
You know, well, you got it closer than I do. You've got the.
Well, he
like, the
just
face
started
is the
saying
body.
eyeballs. I was like, well, he hasn't gotten to a head yet, so I'm just going to stick eyeballs on the body.
Yeah, like is
Like-
that the head and that's the head? Like, what's the head?
Yeah.
And that's the face, the body face, and the head face.
And I ran out of space, so the head had to kind of go that way. Ugh.
God. All right, I'm writing it down. No, I'm not, because my pen is not working. Come on, you piece of shit.
Peter, the pile of shit that you drew was the best.
Yes, that should get the most points.
That
I think
was awesome.
the final score, Peter wins just on the pile of shit alone.
Mhm.
That was worth way more. All
Because
right,
that was 100% accurate.
Katia, you got the 3. Chris, you got the 2. Andrew, you got the 1.
Fair
That was
enough.
rough. That was a rough one to end on.
Really tough.
Very, very difficult. 5.
I knew we were in trouble when you just kind of froze up for a good 15 seconds.
Yeah, at least 15.
Yeah, well, I did part of it on purpose to let you know what it felt like, but honestly, I couldn't get something out. Like I was just gonna start spouting something, and I couldn't even. I had nothing.
No
was
more
coming out.
complaints about us going before we can say something.
I was good up until that point.
Nah, there's one earlier that you struggled with a little bit.
For a second, there was a misstep.
It feels like eternity when you're on this side.
Totally does.
But I think the upside down bullet was a good place to start.
So what did we end up with the score?
Are you shitting me?
I lost.
Oh, that must mean that I won.
Yeah, I think Chris won.
He doesn't like it when I win.
Yeah,
There's no winner.
there's
What?
no winner.
We're all
Right.
losers.
Andrew, you got 12,
Yeah, okay.
and then Chris and Katia tied with 15.
What?
Oh my god.
So 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 3 is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 for Chris. 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 for Katia.
We're
Fair
both
enough.
losers.
We all had fun. We're all
Yeah.
winners.
Co-win.
Or
This one
Mike
sucks.
is terrible at describing drawings. He's the true loser.
This
Yes.
is very true.
We all beat Mike.
No.
Hey, you can't look at them ahead of time though, or are those from today?
No, these are from today. I think I did really well with these. I mean, minus the fact that I didn't do any part of its rear end.
Yeah.
That was the one that I think had a
The
delay.
first,
Yeah.
I think the first one we didn't do that well because we were just getting warmed up.
Peter said he redid this one after you heard the globe.
Mm.
Yeah, the chalkboard. I like the slippers on the circles. Attention to detail. Well done. Yeah, these are tricky.
Yeah, those are fun.
Oh, God.
I can't imagine playing this not the real way, the rules way where you have to memorize it and then describe it.
That's why we do it this way. It's already hard as it is,
Yeah.
Yep.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like the timed pressure on describing it as we draw it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah,
Now-
so
now-
that's that.
yeah.
Have you never played it in real lives?
I played it. I've
Yeah?
with the monsters in real life.
Do you prefer it being memorizing it and then doing it?
I mean, I think it's different because in that mode you have to like vote for everyone's, and there's like the point. That doesn't really work on a stream like this. So they're different, but they're both fun. The way we play today is good. It's very simple, straightforward. It's just like describe the thing and then vote. Have the artist or the witness pick which one is the best.
The witness.
It is fun to vote for other people's and think who you think is the best.
Yeah.
I want to see the lava lamp.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to show it, I guess, on the stream. And if you want to pop into the Discord after the show and show the lava lamp, I'm curious to see what. I want to see Peter's lava lamp.
I'm not touching that.
It's recorded forever.
All right. So
Oh,
next
God,
thing to discuss.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Oh, did you put a spoiler banner? Spoiler banner?
Oh, I got it.
Boba Fett, episode 6.
Although I guess this doesn't really fit since you never really saw it in that episode, right?
You saw it. No, not the helmet, but the guy.
Right.
All right, so two things.
He had more screen time.
We're gonna talk about Boba episode 6. If you haven't seen it, mute us. Wait till the end. Wait till the banner is off on the bottom, and you have 3, 2, 1 to turn us off. Second thing is, Chris, if you're gonna play the part of Boba Fett, you have to remain silent through this entire discussion.
In fact, I shouldn't even be here.
No, you should just.
No,
You can
You
just
can
pop
have-
in for 5 seconds and then go away again.
Yeah.
I can nod. I can.
Mhm.
That literally made me think: are they paying him less for not having any lines? You know,
Right?
like,
It
it's-
makes you wonder.
Yeah, because I know extras. They don't have to be in the Actors Guild. They don't have to get paid very much or anything like that if they don't have lines.
Mhm.
And so that's why they don't give extras lines, right? And so I was like, I wonder if something in his contract that if he doesn't have any lines in his own show, he gets paid less or something. Because
don't
it just
think so.
seemed really weird to not give him even one line.
Especially coming off of an episode where he's not even in it at all.
Right.
It's like, now that's 2 episodes where he's pretty much not there. Like, you may as
And
well.
it got to speak in
He's
both of
still-
them.
He still gets top billing.
Yeah.
It's true.
Did you see the meme that has Mando and him talking and he goes, "It's my show now"?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Ugh. So yeah, Boba Fett episode 6, coming off of what was a pretty damn good Mandalorian episode in the Boba
Mhm.
series. What'd you guys think?
Oh,
I
man.
mean,
It
Yeah.
was very much what I expected because I knew that he was gonna go and visit Grogu. Like, that to me was happening.
She called it. She did call it. I didn't think they'd do
Yeah.
it. I didn't think they'd go a whole nother episode without Boba Fett, but
I
Yeah,
didn't
Andrew,
think
at
so
the end of the
either. I
last
thought they would
episode,
just cut to him coming back and and saving that for Mandalorian season 3 or
Yeah.
whatever.
But
Having a bigger story to tell there.
Yep.
Instead, they leave us now on that cliffhanger, which I think everybody has a pretty good idea of what's going to get chosen between the two things.
Really?
Well,
What?
yeah.
I think so. Here's my. All right, so I think we know he'll pick the lightsaber.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
General consensus is he's going the other way.
He's going with the
Oh,
armor.
is it?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think that if you think about it like too much, if you start thinking about it logically, maybe then you're like, okay, he's gonna take the armor because then it also explains why Kylo Ren doesn't kill him, or but we don't know. Well, that's the weird thing.
You don't know he
in
doesn't.
episode 7, 8, 9, we don't know if he's dead or alive. So there's a bunch of weird directions they could go. They could be like, he takes the lightsaber and Kylo Ren kills him and he's dead. But you're like, there's no way they're gonna kill Grogu. Even if it's off screen or anything, they're just like, yeah, he was at the new Jedi Temple and he got killed with everybody else there. Sorry, Grogu. End of story. But you're like, that's not gonna happen. He's too much of a moneymaker to ever even put that out there.
Yep.
So you can be like, all right, he took the armor and so he's safe. That explains that he wasn't around for it.
See, to me, I think he picks the armor because Luke says in the episode, his head doesn't seem to be in it. It's not like I'm teaching him. It's more like he's remembering things. So it's like he already knows this stuff. And him and Din Djarin are a clan of 2. So it's like he's got to go back with them. To me, it's like they have to, it just, it has to happen.
I mean, it doesn't have to be as final as what Luke was making it, right? He could say, okay, I'll pick the lightsaber. And then later on, he has a vision of something happening to Din. And he's like, screw it, I'm leaving. And he gets that that reverse Empire Strikes Back thing where Luke is like, if you leave, you might make it worse for him, that kind of thing, And Star Wars loves to reflect back stuff that has happened before. So that I could totally see that happening. But I think in the end, they've got to make it end up with Mando.
Yeah, it's also very New Hope. Din leaves him behind. And he's like, all right, that's fine. He's going to go do his thing. I'm going to go do my own thing. And then, Boba Fett and his crew are going to lose to the Pikes. And then Grogu's going to show up at the last second, like the Millennium Falcon, flying in and be like, save everyone, wipe out the Pikes. That would be the most Star Wars way to do it, is have him show up at the 11th hour. They're about to lose. They've lost all hope. They're about to be defeated. And then lo and behold, Grogu shows up and starts laying waste to Pikes.
Okay, so here's the issue with Grogu choosing the Mando way, basically. He's not going to become a badass. You can't imagine a little Mandalorian helmet on him and him having little guns and shooting. I mean, that's not going to happen. But you can imagine him using the Force, using a lightsaber, flipping around like they showed him doing. So if you want Grogu to be a badass, you got to go a little more. That's why I was saying maybe they're going to hang out with Luke for a little while longer, and then he'll eventually go, you're right, I can't do this, switch over. Because that's the only way to make him useful to Mando. Otherwise, Mando's just going to be babysitting him the whole time like he did before, which was funny and great. But I think at this point, we want to see Grogu do a little bit more, right?
Yeah, but Grogu has saved Mandalorian's ass already.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, sure.
With the Force.
With the Force.
Yes.
Specifically.
So I think that now that he's had a little bit of training, he's not going to be as useless with Mando.
Right, but as a Jedi, he's not going to be useless. He's not going to be a Mandalorian.
No, but he
can't be a Jedi yet. He can't wield the saber. He's not tall enough. He's not going to be able to. Like you gotta, and they advance in they need a long time to get older, right? Like he's 50 or I don't know what he is now, but
Mhm.
and he's that tiny. So we meet Yoda and he's what, 700, 800? And he's
900?
not
near
much,
900. Yeah.
so he's not much bigger, but he's at least big enough to like flop around and wield the lightsaber. Like I don't know if it
Yeah.
makes sense that he sticks. He doesn't. It's already been established. Like Katia was saying, his heart's not in it. He's not focused. And how about we talk about the fact that Jedi don't deal in absolutes? Like, there's so much going on in this episode that doesn't seem like that's where they're going with this one. Take both of them. Why wouldn't you want Grogu to have the Beskar armor? Like, just
that was my point. I was like, this is a dumb choice. Just give him both of them and be practical, and don't worry about the attachment aspect of it. And be like, all right, here's a lightsaber, really good, a weapon for a Jedi. Here's this awesome armor that is just really also good to have. We're not going to give you the armor because we don't want you to be safe.
right.
Like,
I don't think that's.
it's a spiritual choice, not a practical choice. Clearly.
Well, I don't think that's it.
All
I
of the
think
Jedi have had something some attachment to them, right? We learn Obi had attachments. Luke's got attachments. Like he cares too much about Han and Chewie and Leia. So yeah, you talk about Jedi and attachments. Well, shit, you shouldn't. He should take both of them and just stop.
But maybe there's also the possibility that he's just testing him, just to see. And if Grogu picks the lightsaber, he might go like, "That's the right decision. Now here's your armor."
right. I think it. First of all, it's a symbolic gesture. Like which side are you picking? But if he does go, oh, I'm going to go with Mando. Luke's not going to give him Yoda's lightsaber.
No,
That's a Jedi's
sure.
weapon, right? So he's definitely only going to get one if he goes that track. If he goes the Jedi way, sure, he might go, here's your Mandalorian armor, but he already knows that he's conflicted. So he's not going to give him something to remind him of Mando the whole time. He might give it to him later on. Now that you're fully a Jedi, all this, here, it'd be practical to put this on when you would go out in the real world kind of thing. Sure, I could see that. But, I mean, it makes sense that he's got to focus one way or the other.
I think he picks Mando.
I think he's not. I think he picks Luke.
Interesting. So we're split here.
Well, what do you think it is?
I think he's going Mando.
I think story-wise, he's going Mando, but I think it would be cooler if he went Luke.
Well, I mean, I'd love to see him hold Yoda's saber and knock down the Pikes with it, but I don't know if there is enough time into the next episode where he's going to be able to do that. He just learned how to jump. He got shot by the training droid, and now he just learned how to like do a somersault in the air, and all of a sudden Finn grabbed a lightsaber and started going up against the Sith. So, I mean, maybe Grogu can go and take down the Pikes as a little tyke. Who knows? I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say all of us have at some point played the original Zelda, right?
Yeah,
I've never played it.
The original.
Mm-mm.
All right.
I never finished it, but I did play it.
So Link goes into a cave. He meets an old man, and the old man's like, "You're going on this journey. Here, take this." And I feel Luke is gonna be like, "I understand where your heart is. You got to go and do it." Luke's gonna know something's gonna happen, and I think he's gonna give him the lightsaber.
Mm.
I don't
Like,
think
here,
so.
take this. It doesn't make sense, but neither does having Boba in his own show not say a word or even appear in the episode. So,
Can we just I want to point out how really interesting and human it was when Ahsoka was explaining to Mando that it's not a good idea that he sees Grogu, and he's like, "But I came all this way."
Yeah.
He hears a little disappointment in his voice of like, but.
I just
He was
built
really
this
looking-
cool ship. I want to show him my new ship and
Yeah.
tell him all this stuff. Like, I've got a lightsaber too. I guess he knows he has the dark saber, but he's like, they don't even mention that. That's a weird thing too, is that he shows up, he's around Jedi. He knows that the dark saber has its, origins in Jedi, and doesn't even bother to get like, can you give me some tips, some pointers? I've got this thing, let's It's just like, nah, I just wanted to drop off this suit of armor and see my friend.
In a nice
Never
little
mind the
knapsack.
other really, really important stuff that you might actually care about.
Yeah. And drop it off in a nice little knapsack that looks like Grogu's head. Like,
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of, because everything's so interconnected, right? You would almost have an entire episode of going, oh, but do you know Boba Fett? And Luke's like, yeah, I know Boba Fett. I had to fight him and all this stuff. And he took my friend. And you're like, well, I'm going to go help him. What? All the, like, you would just have a whole episode. Instead, they wrapped it all neatly up with, I'm a friend of the family. And that hit the heartstring just when Ahsoka said that. I was just like, oh, that's awesome that she would just say that.
Or the fact that all this that Mando is involved with is happening on Tatooine. You're like, I mean, maybe people in the world don't know as much. I've lost the history about Luke Skywalker, or, you know, where he's from or anything. But you have to think if they do know, or if the legends about it are, you know, true. Because it's not like Episode 7 where more time has passed and people think it's just like legend. Yeah, you have to believe that more people in the galaxy know a little bit more about things. So Mando will be like, oh yeah, by the way, there's this big mob turf war happening on your home planet. If you're interested.
Can I just say, by the way, I hated the whole, oh, Han Solo really exists when it's only 25 years later and the dude's still alive. I mean, if the Republic took over after the Empire, they would have exalted all of their heroes to the point where, first of all, Leia had a position and power. Of course he's real. Of course all that happened. There'd be history books. They're not just living out in the weird, you know, no technology, no record-keeping world. I mean, it just seemed really weird that they were just like, what? Luke Skywalker was really a thing? Yeah, it was really a thing. And I hated that whenever he showed up. What was that?
It's not like that much time has passed.
Right. Well, even in Mando, whenever he shows up at the end, everybody's just like, oh, who's this guy? Like, what? How do you not know? That's George Washington of the Revolutionary War. Everybody knows who Luke Skywalker is. He blew up the first Death Star, and then he killed Darth Vader, killed the Emperor. Like, he's the hero of the entire galaxy. How do people not know this?
Well, Anakin killed the Emperor.
He came back and the Emperor's dead. I mean, even if they didn't do that, of course there would be politics and the stuff behind going, oh, we got to tell these stories to get everybody behind the legends and everything, you know?
Yeah, I don't know if we're just supposed to assume that the galaxy is just a huge place and information just doesn't travel as much as we might assume it does. Like, they don't seem to have, you know, the internet and Facebook and social media. So, hey, maybe people really do this, like, live in caves and not know what's going on outside.
They intercept messages all the time and stuff like that. Like, I'm rewatching Clone Wars, and it's like they spy and listen to each other and stuff like that. So they know things.
They have news programs. I mean, yeah.
But that's like within the context of like military maneuvers and stuff like that. You think outside of it, like in, you know, like Mos Pelgo, right? Like in their little town.
They had the one bar that they walk in, there's like sports on TV. It's like a pseudo, you could tell, it's like a pseudo sport that they have going. So yeah, like he said, they probably have news.
I guess so. I don't know. I'm trying to explain it away. I can suspend my disbelief enough to go
sure. It just bothered me a little bit. I'm like, it bothered me because Luke Skywalker being such a hero at the end of Episode 6, if you go 5 years later and nobody knows who he is, I'm like, what the hell was all that for? I'm like, I want to see my heroes appreciated in the end whenever they win. I want to see medals on their necks. I want to see everybody going, yay, celebrating with me that things happened, right?
Why you gotta hurt me, Chris?
Why am I hurting?
Like, come on. Chewie gets screwed twice in these damn movies. He gets walked by Leia after losing Han, after being with him for half a century. There's not even a fucking brush of the shoulder. And then during the ceremony, he doesn't get a medal. He's as important as Han and Luke, and you can't make another medal for him? Come on. Damn them. Chewie gets screwed all the time.
True.
Anyway, we got a little off topic.
That's okay.
All right,
Talk about
No,
things.
I
Can
hear
I talk about
friends-
things we did like?
Yes.
I got 4 things I want to know about from you guys.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
At the end of the last episode, we talked about like what do you think is going to happen, and damn, were you guys spot on?
With Cad Bane?
Cad Bane, Cobb Vanth,
Now, Grant,
going to go see Grogu.
Oh, Cad Bane was so awesome.
That was my question. It was like, how did people feel about
seriously,
Cad
like
Bane?
he's this little, but you see the rim, and I was like,
Yeah.
like
When I saw that little figure in the rim of the hat, I was like, oh shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was one of those stood up, like when the X-Wing came in at the end of
Yeah.
Mando. That was one of like, I leaned up on the chair like, oh, that's him. Like, that's
And
cool.
I felt so bad because I knew Cobb wasn't going to win. You can't bring Cobb. You can't bring Cad Bane in for 5 seconds and have him lose to Cobb. It wouldn't happen. And I love Cobb.
Yeah,
Well,
and I love how much they basically have made him Star Wars, whatever's the character's name that's in Justified.
Oh yeah, he's spot on with that character.
Marshall, he's just Raylan Givens in space.
Yep.
yep.
Which I guess he was. I didn't watch all of. What is it? What's the HBO show?
Oh,
He was
Deadwood.
Oh,
yeah, I didn't watch all of Deadwood.
Yeah, I didn't see
but
all of it either. It was hard to follow.
He's the same. I think he's basically the same character in that too. But like, he's just Star Wars Raylan Givens, which is like he has the same tone of voice. He acts in the same way. He poses. He holds himself, carries himself in the same way.
Yep.
It's probably exactly what they wanted, right?
That whole opening
scene, casting for this.
The whole opening scene with the spice and that, like him just that was so well done.
Like, those are lines straight out of Justified.
Yep.
For him to just kick over the container of spice when it's like, this is worth more than your town.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, he's not dead though. He's around.
Right.
Yeah.
They were putting bandages on him. I'm happy for that. I also like the deputy thing because it gives you that excuse for why Cobb lost.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're like, maybe he would have won. Maybe he is that good kind of thing. But because he got concerned about him and his eyes left, that's where he shot, right? I went back and watched it like 5 times. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, and how great is Cad Bane that he knew the deputy wasn't even a threat, right? He shot and then unloaded on him. Like, he wasn't even worried about him.
Cobb had his weapon out pointing when he got hit. The deputy still hadn't gotten out of the holster. Yeah,
he was losing. All right, second point. They are murdering bringing Ahsoka to life.
What?
What do you mean?
She's doing, like, killing it. Like, just everything about it is amazingly well done.
I thought you meant it the other way around.
No, they are killing it. Her stance, her demeanor, everything about her is just
all that stuff.
Oh God, the one hip thing, the whole friend of the family. I know it's near and dear to their hearts because they're huge fans, but she is bringing that character like perfectly to live action. You
remind me of your father whenever she said that too. I was like, oh, because the whole thing about her knowledge of that, it communicated that she had shared more stories with him.
Yeah.
And just for him to know that. And she knew Padme, must have told him about the mother and everything. Oh.
So it really hits home if you know the stories. If you haven't watched Rebels, if you haven't watched Clone Wars, then she's this character, right? But when you know her from those shows and then you have that line of I'm a friend of the family's, I thought it was funny. I saw a meme where she says just like your father, and then she's behind Luke and he said something, I'm not like my father, I was a master, don't forget that, because he was never granted rank of master. But yeah, she's just killing it. Like that whole all these little seeds that they're giving us for the Ahsoka series is just it's making it that much better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for Sabine and her working together, and it's gonna be great.
Yep. The bar blew up.
Oh yeah.
That is a good. Anybody else watching Reacher?
No.
I finished it, Matt. We could talk about it after the show.
There you go.
Discord.
So the bar blew up, which was obvious. Like you kind of saw that happening. Is anyone else here or in the chat concerned about Max Rebo?
No, because he wasn't in the episode.
You sure he wasn't?
Which
They
one?
made
is
it.
Max Rebo?
I don't know if they made a point, but they definitely noticed that he never showed up. They had like the robot drummer and they had the Bith.
Right.
But Max Rebo never showed up in that episode.
Which
So
one's Max
he's
Rebo?
fine. Like he
He's
made
the
it out of
guy that plays
the
the keyboard.
sail barge. He's fine.
Yeah, but how did he escape the sail barge? Like, I'm glad that he's here, but
he wasn't on the sail barge. He was at.
he was.
yeah, he was.
he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was.
Huh. I
Yeah,
remember that
if
he
you go
was
back and
playing-
watch, they have scenes of him performing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just because things blow up and crashes, I mean, you don't get up and leave, and
sure.
Maybe he's force sensitive. You never know.
Maybe.
you know, technically, they didn't say it was Max, did they? It could just be
Yeah.
another Otalon.
They said it was Max. Well, they didn't say it was Max in Return of the Jedi, but she definitely called him out as Max in.
Oh, did she? Oh, okay.
Boba
Oh,
Fett.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, in like episode 4.
Oh, okay.
It's good to know that he wasn't in the scene because I was kind of when the thing blew up. I was like, no, Max.
He did not show up in the episode.
Well, he can apparently survive explosions, so.
Well, I mean, if Leia can survive in space, I guess Max can survive explosion. Maybe
I
he's
will tell you that his species in the role-playing game is extremely resilient, so maybe he did,
Yeah.
survive.
I mean, you are shelled by the keyboard, so that could be like a fire retardant, and maybe his skin is fireproof. I don't know.
We also don't know who survived from the explosion because it's weird that they made that like I don't remember her name, but the Twi'lek owner of the bar, they gave her so many lines and so much stuff to do that I thought she was going to be a longer standing character, like more seasons and stuff, and so I hadn't gotten to the point where I cared about her yet, but I thought, okay, I'll get there because they'll have some more story with her and stuff.
Yeah.
So I hope they don't kill her now because it seemed like there was more that you could do with her, you know, like do a more Casablanca kind of thing where she's, you know, Rick and it's her thing. And, you know, she's got, you could do a lot more with that character. And I hope they didn't just kill her off.
She's pretty
I think
close
she's
to the
dead.
blast radius.
Yeah, I think they wanted you to feel a little bit more anger, upset about the bar blowing up, and if there had been nobody of any consequence there, then you just be like, okay, they did a thing, but it's not so bad. But you're like, oh, they killed somebody who had lines.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now I care.
Yeah, it's unlike killing Boba, who had no lines. And I think in addition to Ahsoka being just completely awesome aside, R2 is a fucking badass. He commanded those things to make Din a bench. They made him like a little cushion, and then he just shut off. He's like, just sit down, I'm good. And then it was just like, done.
It's like, is that a bench?
Yeah, that was awesome. The
That
little
whole scene was like
the little moss or leaves
Yeah.
on top was
Yep.
like.
But
Yeah.
like
And,
he
he's
just
and then Mando's like, all right, I guess I'll chill here.
and he's laying down, but like just for R2 to like just shut down, like he's just like make a bench and then he's just like, I'm just gonna sit here and do nothing because I can because I'm fucking R2.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
loved that. And we were just talking about Chopper and R2 and who is more of a badass, and he just rolled up and was just like, sit down and wait.
Man, and think of the history of R2 and Ahsoka too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like she can tell Luke all of R2's history.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
she could tell Luke that he built C-3PO.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Luke's mind must have exploded.
I wonder if he knows all that because there is a continuity thing, right? And I'm sure there are answers if you take it with a grain of salt, but like why Obi doesn't recognize R2. Like there are some things where
Because he's a lying, manipulative old man.
Sure. Okay.
He is. If you watch episode 4 and that whole scene with him and Luke on
And the
Tatooine,
father. Yeah.
he is twisting everything he can to get Luke to leave and get what he wants. It's almost downright.
Didn't he even say later that like everything I told you was true from a certain perspective.
From a certain perspective, sure.
So
Yeah,
he's
he
like,
never
"I
did
didn't lie
own
to
the
you."
droid, but he knew who R2D2 was.
Yeah, growing up, I loved Obi-Wan. He was my favorite. Ewan McGregor is phenomenal. Alec Guinness was phenomenal. But when you look at it, when you get older and you look at like some of the cause of what happened, Obi is downright responsible for Anakin being belittled and feeling like he's not good enough and always being like put down. That just forces his rage. And I'm like, damn it, Obi, like you could have done that a little better as like the trainer, right?
But I think they all did it. Like you look back at the one who trained Obi.
Dooku?
No,
Qui-Gon Jinn?
Qui-Gon.
Thank you. Like the way that he was talking to Obi, like they all had a rebel side in them, like all of them. Ahsoka has it too. Like, like they all had a side of them that was rebellious, and they just constantly got told by their master. Like it was just.
Yeah, but it was so. That's what's interesting is Qui-Gon was his own little thing that kind of argued against the council. And the reason why he argued with Obi-Wan Kenobi is because Obi-Wan Kenobi wanted to follow what the council said as like, that's the law, we do what they say kind of thing. And then whenever you reverse it, Anakin was like Qui-Gon, where he wanted to go against so it just was a weird fit. If Obi-Wan had been taken out of the equation and Qui-Gon had trained Anakin, it would have been a much smoother process. Uh-oh.
We just lost him.
Yeah, I saw him go kind of fuzzy. I guess we lost him there. Hopefully he'll pop back. But
Next.
Dave Filoni has this long kind of theory that he's put out there. I think it's on YouTube. You can find it. But he talks about what would have happened if Qui-Gon had survived.
Yeah.
And he doesn't believe any of this stuff would have happened if Qui-Gon had survived. He doesn't believe that Anakin would have turned and all that. So it all hinges on that one little bit, you know.
I really want to know his story. Like, I feel if they're going to do another Star Wars story, to give him...
To Qui-Gon?
Yeah, because I want to know what he did to piss off everybody. Right? Like, there's a story there. I don't know if we need to see young Obi being trained by Qui-Gon, but there's definitely an adventure that happened.
Qui-Gon's defiance I sense in you.
And it's also been like multiple times, right? I don't think it was once like he threw a rager at his parents' house and he got grounded. It seems like he's done some stuff to constantly been like shunned from the council.
So there is a canon. There are canon books. Well, I don't know if they're canon anymore. There are books that talk about his relationship with Dooku and you know, things that happened as he grew up and why he was thinking that the Jedi were in the wrong and for what they were doing and manipulating. It's like he was right in the end. Obviously, he would have argued not to get involved in the war and all that stuff, and probably left the Jedi Order instead of being a general on the Jedi. I imagine that's how I feel he would do anyway. But
yeah, the Jedi. I think that's why I gravitate towards, like, I love the Jedi. Obviously, when you get older, you start leaning towards the Sith. But Ahsoka's got it right. Like, they're both flawed in their own way.
Yeah. Yeah, the Jedi very, very much are hypocritical, might not be the right word, but they're like so absolutist in their dogmatic, but yet they don't ever adhere to their own dogma. That you like, you know, and I think that it's more a representation of, you know, an order that's thousands upon thousands of years old, sort of losing its way over time. I don't really follow any of the like old High Republic stuff to know of like, oh yes, it used to be a more, you know, pure and responsible and respected order, and over time it's, you know, shifted to more, you know, more political and, you know, less true to its original intent.
You know what happened? They were introduced to social media. Ruin the Jedi Order forever.
Yeah. I did read the first Old Republic book. It's poorly written, but it was a good story. That's harsh. I'm really harsh. As to, what?
Did you read only half of
I
it?
read the whole thing. I read half the second book. That's hard. I'm really a harsh critic on writing styles, but it was a good story though. And you're right. It had a very, like, Jedi were more respected for actually doing the things that they preach. Whereas by the time you get to episode 1, it feels like they're preaching the same thing, but not quite doing it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know? It's interesting. I'm running, as you know, I'm running a RPG game, Star Wars, and it's during the Clone Wars time. And they're almost near the end of the end of Clone Wars, basically. But they've had a lot of interaction with Jedi and the military and stuff like that. And so I've slowly started changing things to where they're now noticing there's no aliens on board. It's all humans and stuff like that. And they're like, what's going on? And they're asking the Jedi and they're deflecting because they can't really, and it's causing people to start being like, man, these Jedi suck. Like, they're starting to dislike the Jedi because they're taking over one of them's like in the military. So when he gets orders from Jedi, he's like, fine. Like, he's not liking them anymore. So it's going to totally feel right. Whenever the Order 66 happens, they're like, yeah, they probably were trying to take over. Like, you could totally see it happening. Mm-hmm. I've changed the media and news stories and stuff that it's going on to, like, it feeds right into it. So
that's cool.
All right. I have a question. I don't know if you've talked about it on the show before. I might have missed it. But I'm really curious to know what people think about Omega and the Bad Batch. Like, Omega should be the exact same age as Boba Fett now, like within a couple years, right? Because
no,
Boba Fett and Omega were like born roughly at the same time.
This is Bad Batch spoilers if we're continuing this, but yeah.
Well, it says spoilers down here. I figured, we're spoiling this, we can spoil that stuff too,
right? At
this point, but I'm curious what people think about Omega in particular. If she's still alive, which I'm going to presume she is, she should be the same age as Boba Fett. Where she might be, if she's going to show up, have any relevance into the Mandalorian storyline.
I think that the Bad Batch series is still too new to put it into the Mandalorian season. Like, I think they have to keep developing that first before starting to tie it all in.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. If we see her in Mandalorian or Boba Fett, then we're going to know that she survives. And then season 2 or whatever of Bad Batch is be like, yeah, she's fine every time she's in danger, right?
Yeah. I mean, it seems
Filoni's
like
not above killing.
Yeah.
Filoni's killing people. He'll do it if he feels like it.
No, that's a good point, though. If you end up seeing a character now, knowing that storyline is here, then you obviously, like, you're filling in the gap.
Right.
Sure. There's a lot of time in between that I don't think necessarily ruins some of the storytelling. Yeah, I mean,
ruin it, but
we watch the prequels after 4, 5, and 6, and Obi-Wan's not going to die at any point.
Well, we talked about a moment in our last episode. We talked about a moment that happened in the Mandalorian that would have really been cool in the Boba Fett series, and that's when we see Slave One again. But we had already seen him come to basically what ended up being like Grogu's rescue, trying to find his own armor. And we saw Slave One come flying through, and you're like, holy, that was epic. It was so cool. But then you give Boba and Fennec the opportunity to storm Jabba's palace and beat the guards and get his ship back. That could have been a really cool moment for the fans that hadn't seen Slave One on the screen again. But we had already seen it in The Mandalorian. So it was kind of like, oh, okay, like that's how he got his ship, but we already knew he got his ship.
Yeah. I think a lot of Boba Fett is spending time telling us how things happen that we already know happened because of the positioning of Mandalorian. It's like I'm enjoying the show, and I'm enjoying the Boba Fett parts of it and the Mandalorian parts of it, and all of it as a whole, even if it feels a little disjointed and weird that they focus on Mandalorian for 2 episodes. I'm just like, it's all part of a bigger story. I mean, you could say that Boba Fett kind of sucked the air out of a couple episodes of Mandalorian by showing up. Not quite as much, but like that was kind of a bigger reveal than any. Like this is all just continuing a story that we've already been set up. The Boba Fett stuff was like, oh shit, Boba Fett is still alive. That is like a bigger reveal that sort of sucked a lot of the air out of the Mandalorian, more so than anything that's happened here has, I think, ruined Boba Fett's storytelling in some way.
Well,
so I guess my point is like I don't really have a problem with the way they've jumped around a little bit and the focus has shifted.
I don't have a problem with it, but as to like your point, the Mandalorian was still the main character of those stories and still involved, and it was part of his story. Whereas these last two episodes had nothing to do with what Boba Fett was doing until he showed up and it was like, hey, I'll help. Like everything else was a completely separate thing going on. So it felt very disjointed.
Yeah.
Here's a theory I had. Do you think that when they got towards the end of filming or writing or preparing for season 2 of Mandalorian, they're like, we're going to do another season, but it's going to take a while. We don't really have anything in the pipeline. What could we kind of hodge together to fill the gap? And like, we could just do a little Boba Fett thing. And they're like, with maybe like the loosest of idea of stuff. And because it feels kind of like thrown together and not really, like coherent in the way we're describing. And so I feel like maybe that's the reason why it feels that way, is because it was just kind of shoehorned in to fill some time because they weren't going to be ready for anything else. They're like, we could do this thing. It just, I don't know.
I don't know if they would haphazardly put something together that fans have been salivating for years, decades. Like you want to.
It feels that way now.
Oh, totally does, with the CGI bullshit go-kart race that they had in the thing, the black chrysanthemum running into that whole fight, like all of it just seems so not polished compared to what we got in the Mandalorian. But I don't know if they would have done that on purpose.
I don't think it was on purpose, but I think they just realized when season 2 of Mandalorian ends, we're going to go a long time before putting new Star Wars content. This is more like a business decision than a creative decision of like, well, shit, we can't have this big of a gap with putting out Star Wars content on Disney Plus. Let's throw this thing together. It'll be good enough. And we'll throw some Mando stuff in, and we'll put Grogu back, and people will be happy with it. And the fans will nitpick stuff like we're doing and say like, well, but it felt like there's basically an hour's worth of content that they stretched out into 4 and then threw in some other stuff on top of that. And be like, this could have been 2 or 3 episodes.
There's so much of it that seems rushed.
Right.
But like storyline rush, like then go 10 episodes. If you want to stretch shit out, then stretch it out and go 10, not 7 with 2 of them being a totally different character from another series. I don't know if that was planned. I mean, I see your point, but I don't know if they would have. Whoever was
that's the point. If it wasn't planned.
Right. But who greenlit that idea? Like they probably no longer work there.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I think that the numbers and the buzz has gotten have been fine, and no one seems too bent out of shape about what the fanboys are saying about it at the end of the day. I mean, episode 9 is out there. That's a thing unto itself, and yet it didn't ruin anything.
That's the low bar right there.
Episode 9 is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Is 9 your lowest, Andrew? Sorry, Chris. Is 9 your lowest?
I will say this. And y'all might have talked about this before. I have watched a lot of Star Wars content, and I've watched a lot of Star Wars content repeatedly. I have not gone back and watched episode 9 since I saw it in the theater. I've probably seen like episode 1 more recently than I've seen episode 9.
Same here.
Okay, so just for me to clarify, because I haven't watched the newer ones, like 7, 8, 9. I haven't watched them more than once.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a while. 9 is the one where basically Rey comes back to Tatooine at the end and says, yeah, okay.
Rise of Skywalker, yeah.
What's your last name?
I know. It's like, no, it's not. That's a lie.
Yep.
Yeah. I've watched episode 8 again. There are parts of episode 8 I like. There are parts that I don't like as much, but I like the direction it was roughly going. But yeah. Episode 9 came out, what, 2019? Yeah. Yes.
Was it that early? Yeah,
December,
yeah. 'Cause it was right
December of
before-
2019.
Yeah.
And
right
I
before
saw
it.
it in the theater twice. I have not watched episode 9 since like January of 2020.
I think I've only seen it once.
Yeah.
I saw it in the theater twice. And that was
the new
it.
stuff, I've only seen it once each. But this is why I'm like rewatching everything now.
I've seen 7 a
I
lot.
still love episode 7. I think episode 7 is very, very good, very entertaining. And I like about half of episode 8. I like everything except for the Canto Bite stuff.
Yeah.
Which didn't need to be in there at all. You could take that entire storyline out and nothing changes.
Nope.
Right. The rest of episode 8, I really like. The Canto Bite stuff.
It's
hot
the whole
garbage.
Indiana Jones problem, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but episode 9, I can't think of anything like redeeming about it. And I'm like, yes, this was cool.
They had animals running on the outside of a Star Destroyer. Like, it can't get any better than that, right?
I know that. I think it's better. There was one thing, I guess, in episode 9 that I wouldn't say redeemed it, but I enjoyed. It was fun to see Lando again.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen Lando be Lando and not just their bus driver.
Yeah.
He just shows up and goes, "Hey kids, it's me. Now let's go along in the desert. All right, I'm not coming with you. See ya." I mean,
Remember this helmet I wore in Jabba's palace? I still have it.
Yeah.
so stupid.
Sorry. Anyway, we're not talking about episode 9.
No,
I don't remember how
no,
we
no.
got on that even.
Oh, because you mentioned low bar and naturally.
Oh, yeah.
So
even the mod biker episode of Boba Fett, it was episode 3. I think it's better than episode 9.
yeah,
Oh.
but I will say, I think Boba Fett episode 3 is the lowest of all episodes of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. It's
Real, not animated, but
Okay, because I was going to ask you've seen that little droid saga adventure with the little miniature general thing?
yeah. Don't worry about that. I'm not talking about animated. I'm talking about live action. All of Mandalorian, both seasons.
it was pretty.
By a large margin.
Yeah.
And here's what it felt like to me. Like when you were just talking about what do you think happened behind scenes and stuff, it feels like this is probably not what happened, but it feels like Filoni and Favreau said, okay, Rodriguez, here, take Boba Fett. We're going to focus on getting Ahsoka and stuff ready. And they came back 3 episodes later and went, oh, this is bad. We gotta take what we have for the first episode of Mandalorian and stick it in here to keep people around. That's what it feels like.
No, you think that they actually were these two, the episodes 5 and 6 were actually episodes of The Mandalorian that they retrofitted to fit into the storyline?
I mean, it feels like it. I'm not saying that's what happened, but it feels like it feels like a Band-Aid. It feels like it was bleeding quality, and by the time the 3rd episode came, everybody was like, I'm about ready to quit this awful thing. And then they were like, Mandalorian after episode 4, right? And everybody's like, all right, I'm back in.
I think they
episode 1 wasn't that bad. Episode 2 was good.
2 was the
Episode
best
3
of,
was...
2 was the best of Boba Fett
Yeah.
so far.
Okay. I don't know. Episode 4 was
4 was
Pretty
good.
darn good.
Yeah, 4
4
was
was
next after. It goes 2. I'm not counting Mandalorian episodes. It goes 2, 4, 1, 3.
Sure.
One was so short that it's like,
Yeah.
did anything happen?
No, he just sat out in the
I
desert
think
staked.
one was like 25 minutes long. Like it was such a short episode.
It was, and 15 minutes of that was him staked to a little stick out in the middle of the desert next to a Rhodian. Yeah.
So I guess we could talk about what we think is going to happen next week or this week, 2 days.
It is the last of the series, right? This is only a 7-episode series.
That's my understanding.
Yeah. I think we're going to see fan service killing no-name pikes that we don't care about or know anything about. We're just going to see a bunch of characters that we know be badass, except for Cad Bane, who we all care about, is going to have this big fight. He'll get away because they're not going to kill him in just one thing like this.
Although him and immediately kill him after all this time. No,
there is actually, he does have a death so he was originally supposed to die by Boba Fett's hand in the Clone Wars. They started writing it and putting it together, but it never got made. And they said that the ding in Boba Fett's helmet comes from Cad Bane's shot, kind of thing.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw that. I heard that too.
But obviously it never happened. So I don't know if they're bringing it back in. Like, here's how. And Cad Bane should be like, 100 years old at this point. So maybe it's time.
Oh, yeah, who knows how long his species lives?
He lost a lot of his blue hue.
Yeah, canon. As far as canon goes, yeah, there you go. No one's ever said how long Duros live, but in Legends they actually have shorter lifespans than people. So while he's like 80 something here, it should feel like 100 something in human years.
But he has like the technology and stuff. Maybe he's got artificial means keeping him alive longer.
Sure. And they can always fix that in canon. They could go, "Oh no, Duros lived longer," and that's fine. I don't mind when they change things to finally say this is canon.
Are we going to see Boba Fett ride the Rancor?
I think so.
I hope not.
What do you think he's been doing this whole time?
Yeah, that would explain it. It's like, where's Boba Fett been this whole time? Oh, he's training the Rancor. He's working.
It's only been a few days, and it's still a baby. I'm hoping they save that for season 2.
You think there's going to be another season of Book of Boba Fett?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got plenty of views. Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, Disney bases this stuff off of money.
Sure. I mean, at the end of the day, yes.
Yeah.
It's
going to be a season 2.
I mean, Star Wars is different than Marvel, but like a lot of the Marvel series are, it's like Hawkeye is one and done, and WandaVision is one and done, but Loki's the only one that's getting it. Like, we're not going to need to see another season of Falcon Winter Soldier. Like, Loki's the only one they've said they're going to do another season for.
Well, they haven't said for certain that they're not going to do another Falcon and Soldier, right?
I think at the end it said.
Sure. I mean, you could leave it open, or maybe they'll call it Captain America and Winter Soldier. So they're like, it's different. It's not a continuation.
Yeah.
I think Loki's the only one that promised a second season, right? But you're right. Like, what's his name? Starts with an F. Runs Marvel.
Kevin Feige.
Feige, yeah. I think Feige has such a creative control structure that he's like, shut up, marketing. We're doing it this way because this is the quality way of doing it. And that's why we've got great quality Marvel stuff. I think there's a little bit more marketing, and there always has been in Star Wars because of the toys and all that stuff. There's a little bit more marketing control in Star Wars. And so, I definitely think we're going to get another Boba Fett.
Yeah, I think to your to your point, Kathleen Kennedy has always been more business focused than creative focused.
Yeah. So
I don't know if we'll see another season or if Boba Fett will end up showing. Like, I could easily see Boba Fett like popping up in Mandalorian again instead to kind of fill out the story. we'll have to see where we leave it at. But it seems weird to introduce the Rancor and not show it again.
Yep.
Right.
It's not like they have a lot of muscle. They're like, we got to get some muscle, and their muscle is Black Chrysanthemum and the Mandalorian. Like that's all you need to fight the Pikes. You feel like getting a little thin here.
Well, you're going to get a wounded Cobb, right? He's going to come in shooting with the left instead of the right.
Sure. And the Mos Pelgo people the Mos Pelgo people who are good at killing a crate dragon, but
that Weequay bartender looked kind of pissed off.
I don't know. I'm having a hard time with,
if I remember correctly.
I'm having a hard time believing that this is the army Boba Fett needs to fight the Pikes. The Pikes seem a little bit more well-funded and well-organized.
Really? They showed up on a bus. 12 of them.
It's all part of the plan. They came in unnoticed.
That's the other problem I had. It was like, yeah, they showed up in public transport. What gangsters take public transport? They don't have their own ships.
Weren't we told that they've already been there? Like that was just more people coming in. There's already a bunch of them there. Yeah.
Sure, but imagine you're watching Godfather. You know you're about to go to the mattresses, and then it shows a public bus come and some guys come off of it. You're going, ooh, dangerous now.
They're your third cousins from Jersey. It's fine. It makes total sense.
You don't want to pay expensive rates to have to bring them in.
And your name's on a docket, and they know it's.
If they don't have their own ship, then how dangerous are they?
I don't know. I guess I'm just thinking about how the Pikes have been presented in the past in Rebels and Clone Wars and stuff. And like they seem like what they have planets and armies. Like you think about the episodes from those Ahsoka episodes from the last season of Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Those Pikes seemed pretty badass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Boba Fett has some mod bikers and a couple bounty hunters
on nursing home scooters. They're rented from the nursing home in Mos Eisley.
I don't like his chances.
Their entire planet is devoted to spice production.
Yeah.
Like that's what the Pikes do. They're a huge syndicate, almost rivaling the Hutts.
Right.
So it just seems insane that he thinks he's just gonna kill a few Pikes and Tatooine's mine and that's it. Like what?
Yeah.
I don't even know why they're fighting over that rock. Like it doesn't produce spice there.
No.
It's a good market. Maybe it's key. I don't know enough about like Star Wars geography to know if it's like key to the Outer Rim.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It's off one of the main hyperspace lanes. Like the key to the Outer Rim would be more like Rhodia.
Oh, okay.
It's to the right of Rhodia on the galactic map.
To the right.
Well, if you're looking from the top, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just
because space has left, right, and up and down.
I mean, I could pull it up if you want.
No, we're not arguing with you. We just think it's funny that you can define space geography as this is to the right. That's like saying
if you're looking at the top view of the galaxy. Yeah.
Mars is to the right of Earth.
Yeah.
We had talked a little bit. I don't know if it was last episode, maybe it was 2 episodes ago. They all start to blur, but we had talked a little bit about where it was going with the Pikes. The one person that Boba went to talk to about getting paid for protection was like, I'm not paying you because I'm paying them. There was a symbol there that kind of looked a little familiar, and there were rumors about Crimson Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Do you think episode 7 ends with any of that coming back?
I was hoping so earlier, but the way things have gone, I think it's weird to just throw them into the mix now on top of everything else. It feels like, oh, by the way, Crimson Dawn is here too, or Crimson Dawn is running the Pikes.
Right.
I mean, unless there's like a post-credit stinger that shows, surprise, it was actually Kira and Crimson Dawn all along.
But wouldn't that be as weird as throwing in twin Hutts that just come in, threaten his life, and then walk away by giving them a Wookiee and a
Sorry.
Rancor.
They give him a
Yeah.
rank.
Like it just
I
seems,
also think it's unlikely because it's not like Filoni content, right? Like Filoni's been a lot more heavy-handed with, I want to put the stuff I've developed in working with Favreau, and Solo is like off to the side. Kind of feels like it's unrelated right now, even though it had Pikes in it and Underworld stuff.
What
I don't
if at the last minute in 7 episodes, either Ahsoka and Luke show up,
I knew you were gonna bring her.
or Bo-Katan and her group show up?
sure, Mando could have reached out to Bo. I mean, I know Bo's got her own. I mean, she wants the Darksaber, right? So, I mean, she's got a little bit more invested. Sure.
That's another little nitpick I do have, by the way. So they leave at Mando last season. They leave all of them on the bridge of this ship that they now have total control of. They better have kept that ship. I'm sure Bo did, right? But how did he get off that ship without her going, hey, let's box? I want that sword. That's what this is all about. Doesn't have to be to the death. Obviously, he kept Gideon alive. Just have a fight. If she wins, she gets the sword. What's wrong with that? I don't understand.
Clearly, she
killed Gideon.
Especially seeing the fight that he had with the dude in episode 5. And like you said, it wasn't to the death or anything.
Right.
Basically, they called it. Yeah.
So why didn't just, all right, get over your little friend and then we'll box the next day and then you can leave. But you're not leaving the ship with that sword.
See,
that's her whole goal. That's everything she wants.
I think that Mando went but can I play with it for a few more days?
I know that's how did he just leave? And she's like, oh, I guess you have it now. And there's no way with her drive.
Yeah.
I don't see how that happened.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I question Bo-Katan's convictions a little bit after, and we don't know all of the truth around it, but she had it, she lost it. Moff Gideon got it at some point. Now we've learned more about the fall of Mandalore. I think that she still is bearing a lot of guilt around that, in that she recognizes she never really earned it, and the curse of it is sort of her fault. I'm not sure. I've thought a lot about does she really want it, or does she act like she wants it? But especially after hearing Moff Gideon do his speech about it, how you have to win it, and she lost it, and all that stuff. She's
her
maybe
entire goal of going. She didn't go to save Grogu. Her entire goal was to get that sword.
But I think her confronting Moff Gideon and hearing him talk about it in front of everyone, and I don't know. I question her conviction.
Well, and then how is it? I don't know. The whole it was the society was cursed because the sword wasn't. I don't know, because in Rebels they kind of say that it's Sabine's fault that everything went to shit. So it's well,
it happened with Sabine first, and then it happens with her too, right? So,
but
yeah, I mean,
what explained everything with Sabine? It wasn't because of that sword, right? So it's does it really have a curse, or is that just another kind of BS thing? Kind of don't remove your helmet type of thing that they.
I think that's just a cultural thing. I mean, I think in the world it's just a cultural thing.
Yeah,
they might believe it, some of them,
but they also talk about how it actually is heavier and harder to wield, and I don't. Sure. I think that's a actual physical manifestation. It's not just it's heavier in your head.
Oh, sure.
So there's weirdness of the power of the story convincing people that they're not right, but then there's the actual reality of no, but it actually has this weight to it too. So,
well, I mean, we know that kyber crystals have force-like ability in them, like they're used through the force and stuff. They're very specific, and whatever that saber uses that make it a black blade kind of thing, that must have some kind of, I'm not saying there isn't some kind of magic or something to it, but I doubt that single sword's destiny and will directs an entire evolution of a culture and planet. Like, I'm sure that sword didn't go, they didn't win me right. Okay, Empire, come on in and destroy the planet like that. I don't think that's really.
Yeah. Any last predictions for episode 7? Saying Rancor, yes.
I think so.
I say no.
Are we going to see anybody else? No. You say Rancor, no.
No Rancor.
No Rancor. It's for season 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's not.
Are we gonna
like
have
you might
any other
see
surprise appearances.
You might see it, but he's not going to be writing it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Oh no, he's going to be writing it.
Too young.
There's not that much time that's passed. That's like
I know,
saying
it's been like
Luke's
5
gonna
days.
come in with a Padawan braid and Jedi robes and house. Like he's not. There's not enough time for that to happen. If they do it, great. But I think it would
Remember, he said that we're starting tomorrow.
I know he wanted to ride it for dinner.
So
Like
I
for
think,
dessert, I want to ride a Rancor. Like
I
that's
think he's
not
going to write it. I think that's, especially after the show, the way that the show went, and we didn't get what we wanted from Boba Fett himself. I think they're going to give us that in the last episode.
And also, why does he have to ride it? He has a jetpack.
Do you think we see Luke and or Ahsoka and or Grogu in the last episode?
Who's to say at this point?
What do you think? And you nailed Cad Bane. You got Cobb. No
I
one.
think we have to see
nice.
Grogu. I don't think they can end last week's episode on an actual cliffhanger that we get no resolution to at all.
No, I think that we're not going to find out Grogu's choice until
Season
the
3.
Mandalorian. That's how they.
Really?
I think that's the cliffhanger. So I don't think we're going to see Grogu again in this episode.
Wow. That's
So then going back to what we were saying, we're gonna have Boba Fett, we're gonna have Fennec, we're gonna have Mando, maybe Cobb one-armed,
Definitely Cad Bane again. They're not going to just bring him in for that one little thing.
but he's on the other side. I mean, who's fighting for? Who are the hired guns fighting for Boba Fett?
I think maybe Bo-Katan and her crew.
You think Mando reached out and said, "Hey, I need your help"?
No, they're too busy trying to take Mandalore back. Fix it.
With what? She doesn't have the sword.
No, but she's got that big ship.
Yeah,
True.
I don't know. But or again, she's got the big ship. Imagine that.
I have some bad news. I was curious
No,
see
don't
who
give us
directed.
spoilers.
No, it's not spoilers.
Are you
It's
sure?
just I wanted to see who directed episode 7.
Is that Rodriguez?
That diminishes my hopes a little bit.
Okay, he's riding the Rancor.
Yeah.
So maybe it's spoilers that at least help with predictions. I don't know. I was just like, I wonder who directed it. If it's Rodriguez, I think it changes a lot of predictions.
He's riding the
somebody
Rancor, and Danny Trejo's going to kill everybody with a machete. That's
And we're gonna see Palpatine.
on one of those old bikes.
Oh, Palpatine's riding the Rancor. Done. There's the episode.
No. Max Rebo is riding the Rancor.
Oh my god.
Playing the piano.
Exactly.
Love
He's got the keyboard mounted on the Rancor.
Yes.
He's like the dude in Mad Max Fury Road. With like
With the guitar.
but instead of like the metal guitar, he's like playing his keyboard
Love it.
to rally them. He's just like their rally band.
He's the
He's
bard.
like playing. Yeah, he's their bard.
That's
And the
great.
Rancor has the machete.
Sure.
He's holding Danny Trejo, who is holding a machete.
swinging them around.
My machete has a machete.
We laugh, but watch how many of these things are actually true in the next episode.
Now I really do want to see Max Rebo with his keyboard mounted on the Rancor as their bard / druid.
Oh my god.
uh,
Well, Robert Rodriguez is watching, so I'm sure he'll edit it by Wednesday.
sure. No one's
He's
watching
like,
at this
"Oh,
point
shit,
because it's like
that's a
4
good
hours.
idea. I
Mhm.
should have thought of that.
That could really
Quick,
save
do
the
things with
series.
special effects.
He'll be able to put it together real quick and on his computer and iMovie, and that's how he does all the other graphics,
Yeah,
right?
that's what he
That
did
is
with the
true.
scooter chase scene.
All right, we ought to shut it down. We're almost at 4 hours.
And I think we're starting to get to the silly face.
That was it. Mac Rebo riding a Rancor. That's when
We're
we
getting it. Yep, that did it.
No, with the Rancor wielding a machete.
Oh, right. No, the Rancor is holding Danny Trejo,
Who is machete?
who's holding a machete.
But the Rancor is on Boba Fett's back, who is flying on his jetpack.
The Rancor is on one of the scooters.
He made a big one for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Going 2 miles an hour.
he converted Slave One.
Uh,
Oh, I love it.
it's making me sad at the same time. Let's go ahead and end it
Mhm.
because I don't want that to happen. All
I don't
right.
know. Now I kind of do.
Yeah.
No,
No,
Don't-
no.
don't curse us.
You know what? Still better than episode 9.
Oh, wow.
That might start. No, it's still better than episode 9. You're right.
Well, what'll happen is Boba Fett will just wake up from his back to tank and it'll all be a nightmare.
Oh, it's saying elsewhere.
He'll wake up next to Cad Bane.
That I would actually kind of give more poetic appreciation to. It's like, nah, he's been in the back tank the whole time. This is all a dream.
Yep.
No, he'll go back to him talking to Finnick at that fire and going, and that's how I'll do it. And she'll be like, that's ridiculous. That won't happen.
And Fennec will be like, you're a fucking idiot. I'm out of here.
She just shoots him. He's
Yeah.
dead. She walks off.
Just throw him back in the Starlight pit. Jesus.
Oh.
All right.
We just ripped that apart. That was great.
All right. Let's just shut it down.
Cool. Andrew, thanks for joining.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, it was fun.
Anytime.
Blast as always.
For anyone that actually made it 3 hours and 50 minutes into this entire episode, or if you just fast forwarded to the end, thanks for fast forwarding to the end.
Yeah.
We
We
got to
saved the
put
best for
timestamps
last.
on this one.
Now I wish we were playing MonsDRAWsity again and we were all drawing pictures of Rancors with Max Rebo and machetes on
Yeah.
Slave One.
Oh, yeah. For now on, we got to draw our expectations
Prediction.
of the next episodes or something. Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, now the series is gone. So
Well, that's okay. We could do that for Obi. Obi's coming out in May. Right? Due
Is
out in
it?
May, I think.
yep, and
Has it been
Rodriguez
announced?
is directing that too.
No!
I'm just
quit.
kidding.
Don't ruin it.
All right.
I know we're wrapping up, but I also I did see something after Bryce Dallas Howard's episode that now they want to give her a show or give her a project.
Excellent. Do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Yep.
I'm in, whatever it is.
They should get a Rancor to come in and remove Robert Rodriguez and just put Bryce Dallas Howard in there. Like, just get him out.
I've loved every episode she's directed. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
All right. Last bit of silliness. Well, thanks for staying with us, everybody, including Andrew and Katia and Mike. And anything we want to say before we end?
No, just if you made it this long, good for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can reward ourselves for making it this long.
Yeah.
Is this the longest one? Is this the longest time you've gone?
Oh, it might have been.
I think we went over 4 the one day.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
we might have beaten it once, but this would definitely be the second one.
Yeah, I think at some point it got, all right, we'll close it. And then I asked some stupid question that got us going for like another 10 minutes. And then it crossed 4 hours, which I can do. I'm more than happy to ask a stupid question.
No, it's okay.
No stupid questions. I'm looking right now.
Popcorn.
Actually, we had a few get 3.5. Quite a few actually. We talk too much.
Yeah. I will say this, and this isn't to like extend the conversation or anything. I just want to share that like I really
Yeah, right.
no, I want to just appreciate y'all doing this. It's sort of it's a great way to start the week. You know, it's like on Mondays, whether I'm on or if I'm not, and I'm just watching. You know, I'm not like, oh, what am I gonna watch? I was like, I'm just gonna hang out and have dinner and watch 42 with my friends, and
Nice.
that's what I do on Mondays. It's a good fun way to start the week.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Thanks, Andrew.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all.
All right. Well, with that, we'll say goodbye.
Yep.
And thanks for watching.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.